Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 197. We're closing in on 200 episodes.
Do we have to do something?
I don't know. We always say that, and then we don't really do much. But anyways, welcome. We're back down in the basement to talk about another week that was in wrestling. Did not get around to discussing Dynasty.
Special edition, we do it less than an hour.
But we will, we will do that tonight. We will maybe even, I did take some notes on what was TNA Rebellion.
Sure.
I watched it. We're going to talk about Dynasty.
Yes, that was it, actually. No, but that was the one I think we went to last year. Like last year, Rebellion, I think that was the one we went to.
What?
We went to Rebellion last year.
We did?
Remember the tagged Ultimate X was really low and Macklin won the vacant title?
We did go last year. I was like, are you serious? We did.
It was like before Forbidden Door, I think. Like, I only remember because I think I popped up on my Snapchat memories because I completely gabbed on it too. It was like, it wasn't like even a bad experience. It just wasn't like memorable.
Right. It wasn't super, especially compared to the previous TNA shows we'd been to at the same venue.
I still remember
that were
the first time I went to Impact. Yeah.
So we'll talk about Dynasty. We always do. NXT. I didn't watch TNA the show yet this week. I probably will. So we won't be talking about that. Main roster, I only caught a couple things. I didn't really watch.
I haven't, but maybe I'll check later. No, I did catch a couple things, but not.
I saw Drew, so we can talk about that.
Oh, I see Drew.
We'll talk about news and rumors. We'll have some trivia, maybe a wrestling figure update. I didn't ask ahead of time. Do you have any of that?
I mean, we just got a couple pickups and that's it. But
okay.
That's just this.
Oh, right there. You can see them if you're watching on camera.
My Kurt Angle on steroids.
I got every moment on video last week. Hooray me. Maybe I'll put in the sound of clapping or something right at that spot because seems like I've found a way that is reasonably easy to do it. And I'm even going to streamline it because some mistakes I made last week. It's a process, folks. I'm learning, but it's getting better. At least you can see us every week now. That's depending how you feel about that, I guess. As one of the cables, as I say that, just fell and hit my lap.
I enjoy that, like, he's got the cloth singlet, as you may know.
Cloth singlet, so you can do straps down.
Although it's like the world's most buff Kurt Angle.
For you audio
Kurt Angle, if he was on like the All-Stars video game.
For you audio listeners, he is
useless. I got
pointing at a figure on the table.
Ultimate Edition Kurt Angle, the one where it's like he's too jacked, but he's got the cloth singlet, so it's cool.
And he has hair.
And he has hair, which is honestly weird.
Which he did at one point.
He did, but like it's just I don't think I ever think of that.
Right, and then Ricky Starks.
I got Ricky Starks for the FTW belt. Although, like, because I don't really care about getting a hook, so this is the ideal way to get that belt.
But that was just at the local Walmart, right?
This was at GameStop.
Oh, GameStop.
And this local Walmart was Kurt Angle, Kirk Angel.
Right.
Which also Bobby Lashley in like the McDonald's looking gear, so maybe I'll get that at some point too. And Belair, which was pretty nice actually.
So it's Friday night, which we've recorded on, but this is kind of an early Friday night recording.
Friday evening.
Trying to not be up till 1 a.m. doing this. And then tomorrow we've got a brunch with family, my parents, my aunt, cousin, niece, brother-in-law. It's a bunch. We're going back to where we've been before.
I will get whatever I got last time.
And they have brunch, which I'm happy about. So
I will not get brunch.
I know you won't get brunch. You're not a brunch guy. I am a brunch
Not
person.
even that. It's just like, well, I know I want to get that pasta again.
Yeah, you really like that pasta.
That was good.
It was very good. I thought it was even better the next day.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
interesting.
True. I remember
some things are like that.
Leftovers. That was a while ago, though. Because was that one of the GCWs we went to? Or it
yeah,
was, right?
It was GCW.
I remember it was
not
like
that
we were
GCW,
going to something else.
Great Canadian wrestling.
Yeah.
That we are fans of. We go see, I don't know, we've seen half a dozen shows or whatever. But anyways, anything else you wanted to discuss?
Speaking of staying up till 1 a.m., I stayed up till 3 a.m. on Tuesday night and...
Shouldn't have.
No.
You were hurting.
Well, it was like, I was already doing some math or whatever. I was like, it was 1 a.m. I'm like, I might as well just do a bit more and then just tough it out till 3 a.m. because that's when Bad Batch releases.
Yeah.
So then I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So you know how I don't wait because I have issues?
You do.
I waited 1 minute.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Personal
And that
growth.
was just because when it turns to 3 a.m., that's how long it takes me to get in the app and play it up.
Fair enough.
So it's really not waiting. But yeah, I stayed up and then I was like a zombie the rest of the day. And you would think, did I learn my lesson? No, because I've already planned to do this for the finale. So
that's great.
It's more of those things where I'm just going to deal with the consequences later.
That's for future you to deal with.
That is for future me to deal with, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
a great habit to get into.
I won't say anything because you have to catch up still, but
I do.
I hope for the love of God the finale is an hour plus because they are not going to be able to wrap up everything else.
Tying it up in 25 minutes?
No chance. And I know you don't like overly long stuff, but I think it needs to be long, like a mini movie of sorts. Like, cause they need to do a lot to satisfy people. And I think it would also be nice because the first episode of the show, like overall, was like an hour long. It was like 75 minutes or something.
Even a double episode or something, right? Like actually 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, like something longer because I'd like an hour long just because, I mean, Office does it and those usually work out. Just
Everything works out for The Office.
I need it.
Well, no, that's not true. Did I tell you when I went to the dentist, they were actually playing The Office, and it turns out my dental hygienist loves The Office. So we were chatting. I was actually showing pictures of when we went to The Office experience.
Right. Oh, no, you did tell me. Yeah, because you said something about...
Oh, yeah, she went to actually Scranton and said that she didn't recommend it. Even if you're a serious Office fan, she said there's not much to do. They went and saw the building. They went to Poor Richard's.
Yeah, I can't say I'm going to a pub.
Right. But she said it looked like the Office experience thing we went to was more interesting.
That was sweet. Yeah.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about this week, so I figure we should hop right into it. We'll take a look in our first segment at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. Okay, so taking a look at the ratings, the first thing we usually do, it is NXT this week averaged 661,000 viewers, up 5.8%, earned a .20 in the key demographic, up 17.7. So those are very good numbers considering they were up against NBA and NHL playoff games. Dynamite, not the same story. Unfortunately, 683,000 viewers, down 10.4%, .23 in the key demographic, down 11.5%. That is the lowest audience total the show has done in the regular time slot since, it's going to hurt a little, January 6th, 2021. Do you know what was going on that day? American stuff. That was the day the United States Capitol riot, insurrection, peaceful gathering, depending on who you speak to. So bad numbers for sure, but also should be noted that it aired live on the West Coast, which was outside of prime time, so that could affect it. There were audio issues, apparently, I think on TBS, so people may have tuned out, I don't know. And it did go head-to-head with NBA playoffs.
I do remember a slight audio errors at one point, but I don't remember when or what it was. But I'm I feel like I'm recalling something.
So bad numbers, but a few mitigating circumstances for sure.
Indeed.
What do you have for us?
I guess I'll start off with some more releases. One of them it said last week, so I guess some of them were probably with the other batch, but didn't come out at the same time for some reason.
Who did we talk about last week?
Indusher, all three of them.
Right. Yep. Xia Li, Zion Quinn.
Zion Quinn.
Yeah. Okay. So another round.
And then so this one is Robert Stone and Von Wagner.
Yes.
Which, that's fine. Bet Wagner sucks. And Cameron Grimes is the surprising one.
So I was telling you, I just saw a backstage report, so who knows? But that is the one people are surprised about because he's really talented. He's well liked. People were pretty impressed with the stuff he did in NXT, so they were a bit surprised by that one.
Yeah, Grimes is great.
Which is funny because what they're not saying is they're not surprised by any other one, right? Which, fair.
Well, yeah, because
neither are we.
Don't know why Ginger's still been there. Indusher haven't done anything ever. Xia Li was never really used. Zion Quinn sucks.
It was like Quinn never seemed to get any better.
Stone was stuck with Wagner, so.
Jinder, they know what they have and just don't care anymore. That's fine. They'd honestly tried stuff with Von Wagner other than him putting people through tables. Nothing. And I guess they have nothing for Grimes because
that sucks because he's really good.
So I read a thing where he said that he was starting to get concerned because he knows something about.
I saw his release came days after they said yes. You have a job for life.
So he was like, when I did this stock market gimmick, I started to understand this kind of stuff, and that basically I know how much money I'm making and how little I'm being used, so I'm a bit nervous. And he said a top-ranking executive told him
smart on him for kind of seeing it coming.
I think it was something like you'll always have a job with WWE or something.
Which is
a
load of crap. Good for him for those doesn't really matter, but that's kind of impressive that he kind of saw it coming.
Back to TNA for him, I think.
Interesting.
He's a good fit there, man.
And I think that'd be
He's
good.
really talented.
Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah, me too. What do I have here? Stardom news. They were affiliated already. Now they are a fully owned subsidiary of New Japan Pro Wrestling as of this June. So announced
to that big Japanese NWA thing.
Yes. So it'll be June 28th. The parent company is Bushi Road, which acquired the organization in 2019. So the goal is, whatever this means, increase operational efficiency between the two promotions. So I don't know,
I guess putting them all under one umbrella streamlines the whole partnership thing that you can just.
And will they forever stay separate, or will they
I would think so.
Yeah, seems like.
If it's a subsidiary
that's the formula that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I saw like a random online thing that Grizzled Young Veterans are making their AEW debut on Collision. They'll be facing the Acclaimed. I can't imagine they win, but that's cool.
Yeah, so that makes me kind of happy. At first, I was like, I wish they were definitely signed in TNA, but not if there's a chance they go to AEW.
Yeah, I would gladly take them.
And there's other news about them. Did you hear that?
No.
They're launching.
Oh wait, yes, I did see
a new wrestling promotion.
Burning Heart Pro
Wrestling will debut this June. First show taking place from the Liverpool Olympia in Liverpool. So it's run by
like a committee of wrestlers, which is interesting.
A committee of, quote, top international wrestlers, unquote. I saw Sabre, shouldn't do that inside joke in case you don't watch The Office. That Sabre was somehow, I don't know if he's involved or going to be on a card or whatever, cool. But cool for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bold move to try and start your own promotion, but I feel like England's not a bad place to do it. They love wrestling over there.
Yeah, so. And a lot of that scene got killed off
right.
by NXT UK, intentionally. So we'll see. Like, yeah, maybe that can help revive things.
When they just went over and signed all the indie talent, right? And
still got a bunch of them.
Yeah. I only have one other thing. I don't know.
Okay, so I was telling you about the FTC thing.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah.
What's that? The Federal Trade Commission. They voted 3-2 in favor of approving a ban on non-compete agreements.
I did see this. I didn't.
To get rid of the no-compete clauses. So this,
and not just for wrestling, but this is for just in general.
For
they're no longer allowed.
Those, yeah.
I never really.
The regulations will come to effect in 120 days, and so it would mean obviously you can't do that in the future, and also any of them that were like currently in place would be voided.
Right. So
like anyone who just got released. I don't think their things will still apply, but I think it's usually 90 days.
Yeah.
But still, like, for example,
60,
either way, like, for example, one of their no-compete clauses would just be voided as of whenever this takes effect.
And so it's funny, I heard that whole thing, but never really thought to apply it to wrestling, which is where I hear the most non-compete clauses.
That's the only time I've ever heard it is in wrestling. So I think that's kind of interesting. That'll make releases a lot more interesting because then WWE can't
next day they could be somewhere.
Yeah, the only way WWE can keep people from appearing other places is to keep them on the books, essentially.
Right. So that means Jinder could be anywhere tomorrow. Hooray.
If that were the case, yeah.
Last thing I have is Dax Harwood suffered a concussion at Dynasty. So I don't know if the blood was Hardway.
Never would have guessed.
But
I could see that.
Probably shouldn't have finished the match then. Probably violating some concussion protocols at some point if the referee's checking or whatever, whoever's checking on him. So that's not a great look, but I haven't heard any criticism for it, but I just saw that article before we came down here. So that is all I have for news. Do you have anything else?
Last one was Vince McMahon sold out the last of his shares in TKO, so he's officially completely out. But I just saw additionally Nick Khan has registered to sell all of his stake.
Interesting.
Suspiciously.
That is suspicious, right? Because now it's like, why would he do that? What's about to happen?
I think we know why.
Right?
He's definitely affiliated with all that crap. I mean, no, go figure, but...
Seems like, allegedly, he would be aware, involved.
He's too aware.
Complicit by
not even
doing
that he's
nothing,
like aware, but like he's definitely one of those ones who's probably like too aware of things. So like he's got to get out while he still can and like profit off of it.
May not have been directly involved, but may not have done anything when he was aware of things.
Definitely not.
Quite possibly.
So, that's interesting. I just saw like a guy posting about it. I was like,
Just means he'll cash in tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, but...
I would, if I was in his situation and I had done that, I would do the same thing.
I guess so.
So that's fair.
Right. So I guess that's going to wrap up the news. And the first thing that we will cover is going back about a week now and talking about what was a pretty incredible pay-per-view. And that is taking a look at AEW Dynasty. Okay, so at the risk of giving things away, I mean, this show was fantastic.
Stellar.
And it's funny because basically everything was what we thought it would be.
For
me,
I would say maybe the main event was
one over-delivered, one under-delivered a little bit. But overall, fantastic show.
Probably my favorite of like the new pay-per-views that have come in because I think it was better than Wrestle Dream last year and definitely better than World's End last year.
Front runner for pay-per-view of the year right now. I know it's only April, but like...
And the only other competition for me would be Revolution.
Right. Fair enough. So we'll talk about this. You were disappointed in the set.
Yeah, they just used the normal set.
And
which is lame.
the crowd was fantastic.
Crowd was great. Are you talking about the pre-show at all?
No.
Okay.
If you want to hit
only
results,
thing that was notable was Bullet Club Gold did take.
Thank goodness.
The Unified Trios belts, and so they're calling it the Unified Trios belts right now. So it's interesting to see how long they'll carry around the both belts for, and hopefully they get rid of those pink ones real fast.
Yeah, I was happy about that. And then I don't even know what
I was even like, I was working, so I was like checking the end of the pre-show live stream to just make sure that they won.
Right, and they did.
They did. And Jay White busted out the red tights again.
And so this opening match was one of the ones I was looking most forward to, and did not disappoint. That was Pac taking on Okada
for the Continental title.
So I did take sort of my half-assed cell phone notes, so it won't be super long. I'll go through them quick. If you want to add any details, what you remember, go ahead. So Pac with an awesome avalanche brainbuster early on.
He always does that really good.
He was incredible in this match.
He was great.
Incredible. I said, how is Pac not hurt from that draping DDT on the floor?
Yeah, Okada did like a draping DDT on the outside with like Pac's feet on the barricade, and the way Pac sold it, it was like perfectly looking like he broke his neck.
Honestly,
he was like dead, and he
looked incredible.
He got spiked, and he like the thud was like just the way he's probably the best at selling DDTs, at least currently, and maybe all time, because he's amazing at it.
He's pretty much one of the best at most things. He's an
incredible seller. I think he was showing that off here.
Beautiful moonsault to the floor by Pac.
Oh, graceful.
Huge shotgun drop kick by Okada after bouncing up.
And Pac went like flying into the corner.
So he bounced up from a Pac German, right?
Yeah,
and then the crowd here gets
this is nuts. Where they really picked up. I thought like they were fine before. This is where like they really got into things, and like it really helped it too.
My first JR complaint, I just put, why is JR here? I don't even remember him.
He wasn't even that bad.
No, I agree.
It's more so I just don't feel like we need him.
Okada teases the Rainmaker pose and then gives the crowd the finger, which I thought was awesome. This heel stuff is working for me.
It's really good.
Really good. Yeah. Really impressed.
It's been a pleasant surprise for sure.
Honestly. Sweet bridging suplex German by Pac for a near fall. Missed Black Arrow, Okada tombstone.
I'm just glad we saw the flip. He doesn't need to hit it. I just like seeing him do the thing.
Pac counters a couple Rainmakers for near falls. He counters Heavy Rain. I don't even remember what that is.
That's the neck breaker over the knee that I never know what to call it, which was why it was helpful, because I'm like, okay, good, it has a name.
So Pac counters that into a brutalizer in a pretty cool
spot. Was really cool. Yeah, it's like the standing brutalizer where he's like hanging off the guy. I remember he did that to Omega, and then Omega fell, and then that was how Pac won at the first All Out.
Right.
So that was kind of cool.
It was. Missed Black Arrow, Okada
on
tombstone.
His knees. Was that it, right?
Sorry, Pac tombstone, then Okada grabs the ref to block the Black Arrow.
Right? And then, Pac went for the Black Arrow, hit his face hard off of Okada's knees. It looked awesome. Like,
looked good.
Like he could have broke his nose. Right. And then he sold the crap out of a Rainmaker.
Of course, he did.
The on
Rainmaker
his head.
Nuts. Yeah, so knees up on the Black Arrow, Rainmaker, as you said. And I said Pac takes like a champ. And this is over at 22 minutes.
Perfect runtime, too, I think.
And the fans, the crowd acknowledged Pac here.
After the match, it felt like he was, leaving NXT.
Right. But it was just we knew you were going to lose, and you lost, but man, are you awesome. Incredible.
I'd run this back anytime.
Amazing back and forth match.
This was the perfect opener, and I liked,
Agree.
It did what it was supposed to do, because you can pinpoint the exact moment where the crowd started to get involved, and I think that was really cool.
So it built as it went. The crowd added incredible energy. I had super high expectations.
Pac is such a good anti-hero babyface. It's it works. He can be the straight bastard, or he can be the anti-hero kind of deal, and I think it works either way.
Met my expectations. I pretty much absolutely loved the final half of this and didn't have any problem with the first half. I went 4.5 stars. I thought it was awesome.
Pretty high, but I think I have to agree.
It could get 4 3/4 if there was stronger story going in.
Yeah, and I would revisit this at some point too.
This is a fantastic. It's on my list.
I would love to. Oh, I should put it there. Actually,
I have 4 matches from the show on my list.
I could probably make a case for this and maybe the international title at least.
Yes.
And obviously one match in particular. I'd love to see Pac in the Continental Classic. I think long as he stays without injuries this year, he has to be. He's a shoe-in for that. Not even to win it, just I want him there.
Just to have amazing matches
I just want him
for
there.
Weeks.
Black Arrow, week after week after week. But this was great. It was awesome. And I like knowing there's no interferences, because that just made this a really great, pure match. And Pac sells so good.
This match was amazing. If you didn't watch this show, you should watch the show. If not, find this match for sure.
This was really good. Great opener. Great. Yep. Exactly what you want.
Next match was a trios match, right? House of Black taking on a kind of an odd trioing, whatever the right word is.
I think you just go trio.
Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe, and Copeland. So I wasn't super excited for this one. I didn't really know.
This exceeded my expectations.
Because you can tell that the end game is Copeland Black,
Malachi,
right?
which could be solid. And like I didn't have like low expectations because it is a solid talent roster. It's just
for sure.
I love House of Black. I think Eddie's great. I think Mark's like pretty good. And then Edge is like, I don't know. It's just like something about just the story wasn't really there for me, so I wasn't sure exactly what to expect.
So the faces control Buddy Murphy pretty early on in this, and then we get a really nice Brody King cannonball to Eddie Kingston. The heels then isolate Eddie for a little bit. We get Mark Briscoe with have to make sure I don't say the wrong one.
Oh, that would be bad.
Mark Briscoe with a somersault off a chair on the apron to
over
Brody.
Like the turnbuckles. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. We get a Brody King Death Valley driver to Briscoe into the barricade that looked awesome. Remember, he kind of crumpled him up against the barricade. Yeah. The heels isolate Briscoe. Things kind of slow down for a bit. Eddie just falls down after chopping Brody. Remember that? I don't know
when he was like trying to climb up the rope.
If he just slipped or if it was intentional. Weird, yeah. Anyways, we get a Copeland superplex to Brody King. A series of moves in succession culminates in a King discus lariat to Briscoe that was pretty solid. Impaler and Froggy Bow to Brody King for a near fall, or as my notes say, for a bear fall. Brody is kind of a bear, so he is a big man. What does this say? Teases Air Copeland. Teases Copeland, and Black facing off, but it never happens. I don't know why Air was in there. Sick high knee to Briscoe from Black. Then all of the baby faces hit a spear at the same time, right?
That was nice synchronized, actually. Two of them were on the apron.
Right, and they were perfectly
That was really well done. It didn't feel like it was set up and like overly convoluted. Just like it felt like just kind of fell into place and then it happened. So
better
I thought that was cool.
Syncing than some of my early audio video stuff.
Yeah.
To make a comparison. We get the Edge and Black are kind of left alone here, right? And this is kind of what we've been waiting for them to touch. Edge goes for the spear, but gets misted. And I love the finish because we get Black Mass and it's over after 18
I was
minutes.
actually really happy when they won because we picked them, but like I was just kind of like,
oh yeah, we both picked the opener.
We both picked them. We both picked the opener. I thought this was a really fun trios match. Me too. This is the kind of thing I'd like to see in the actual division itself.
Yes, and a good win for House of Black, who don't seem to win enough.
I want them back on my TV.
Yeah.
Specifically, I'd like them more even in the tag division. If you want to throw them back in trios, I don't care. This was really good though. House of Black they're fantastic. I love Buddy Murphy, especially. He's always been my boy. They're really great together. And to their credit, I think all the baby faces were good too. I've always loved Eddie. I think he does really good work, especially these days as the babyface. I think he's just found his role. Mark Briscoe doesn't get enough credit. I think he's really quality.
Yeah.
And I think we've been saying that since at least the C2. I think he's really shown that he's still really quality when he needs to be. And I think like Copeland, I like him in some parts, and I think he played his role well here too. So I think everyone did good here.
As someone who suffers from a bit of Copeland fatigue, it's nice when he's not, like when it's in tag partners.
Yeah, I like that. So I think everyone played their part really well here.
I agree.
And it ended up being a lot better than I thought. I really enjoyed it. I'd give it like 3 3/4.
I went 4.
Right.
I really liked it. I
thought it was really strong.
And I think it adds some spice to the Black Copeland stuff, right?
Agreed. And it also didn't like feel like it fell short of the opener too. It felt like it continued the momentum and didn't drop the ball.
And a nice 18-minute length felt right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was really good.
It was well paced as well. Yeah, I think both the matches like got really appropriate time lengths.
They felt perfect. I agree.
Paced really well.
Then we move into our first women's match of the night. It's Willow taking on Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. The only thing that really surprised me about this one was the length, which we'll get to. So Willow gets thrown over the barricade into some chairs, and we see that obviously Mercedes Moné is watching backstage. So what was the house rules? Yeah. Was Willow, and I think it matters, right? Willow came out on the stage, and it was announced that for whatever reason, the house rules are Willow couldn't be at ringside and nobody could be at ringside for Julia Hart, I think. But Statlander didn't know that. Like she basically Stokely and Statlander came out with Willow, and when that got announced, it was like the first time they were hearing it.
Oh, I didn't.
So I think this is the first little breadcrumb, or not the first, but another little breadcrumb of like Statlander's out of the loop and getting annoyed a little bit.
And Stokely,
which I'm okay with.
Stokely was never really on board with Willow.
Right. So I think we're getting Stokely and Statlander go join Trent is what my prediction would be. They both. So I think just to jump ahead, I guess, that nobody attacked Monet and that Statlander attacked Willow, and that Stoke and Statlander are going with Monet.
I think Statlander attacked Monet.
Would be my guess. But anyways, so Hart's in control of this, and I write it's pretty boring. Excalibur even has to call it a deliberate pace. We get a Willow spinebuster, stops Hart's momentum. Willow then later powers out of the Heartless. She gets her feet up on a moonsault, Dr. Bomb, and this one's over, clean as a whistle in 6 minutes.
Really short. It didn't I don't think it was amazing, but it wasn't long enough to really lull the action. It was just kind of it got us from point A to point B.
Yes.
Basically.
Exactly. And Statlander and Stokely celebrate with Willow. Monet interrupts. And so now this is
because she always needs to do that.
And she's kind of more embracing the heel role because it's clearly stealing the spotlight. There's no way to say this is a babyface move, right? So a real babyface lets this woman have her moment as a new champion. Monet does not. So feels like it's heel for Monet, which is what has to happen, I think, to sort of salvage her time in AEW so far.
Yeah.
I thought this was quick, not that great. Had the right result. We both picked this, I assume, as well, right?
We did, yeah, because I think it was clearly going well. I think so. As far as the main card goes, I think
I was perfect.
Okada.
I picked everything, I think, this show.
House of Black and Willow. And then I guess Zero, we both took Trent. We both took Bang Bang Gang. And the Cassie Shibata match, I honestly don't know.
Yeah. So I just Hart's improved for sure, especially she's kind of found a character that connects with people, I guess, but
I think she's improved her character work. I think in ring, honestly,
she's not good enough.
I don't see it
to have a blow away pay-per-view match,
or even really have pay-per-view matches.
I'm happy for Willow. She deserves a title run.
Yeah, that's my main takeaway here. I'm glad Willow got the win that she deserves, and I hope she gets a solid run.
My problem now is I'd rather she retain than lose it to
really
Monet.
hope they find a way to have her retain. I'm just not fully confident.
No, me either. And I thought this match was just okay. I went 2.5 stars. It wasn't very good, and it was 6 minutes.
Give it 2.5. It was as good as 6 minutes could be for them, I guess.
I guess. The next match we get that we were both looking forward to as fans of both of these guys was Kyle O'Reilly taking on Roderick
I can't remember
Strong
what the match order was.
For the International Championship.
Love both these guys. I'm on record as being a huge Undisputed Era guy.
Yes.
So this was one that was of interest to me for sure. Even though we weren't really up on the Collision nonsense.
We weren't.
This is one that's on paper. You can just slap it in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Me too. They tell us Kyle O'Reilly was out of action for 647 days.
Yeah, I remember his last match, I think he won a Battle Royal, remember? Then he faced Moxley, and then winner faced Tanahashi for the interim title.
Right.
So that was his last match, I think. And then he was out since then. He was on Dynamite that one time where him, Cole, and Fish turned on the Bucks, but then Cole and him were still injured, so that nothing came of that.
Right.
And then Bobby Fish is gone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, is he ever?
Yeah.
So, as you would expect with two technical guys, we get holds and counters early on, and then Kyle starts to work on Roddy's left arm.
And this is homeless Kyle.
And it is homeless Kyle that disappears between then and Dynamite.
Yeah, which is surprising to me.
We get a leaping Roddy Strong kick that ends a quick exchange. Kyle ends up going back to the arm. Backbreaker on the top turnbuckle, and that already is the third backbreaker of the match, which is my favorite Roddy Strong when he's just like, I'm attacking your back relentlessly in a million different ways. We get a Uranagi backbreaker by Strong, and then another one, torture rack by Strong into a backbreaker. O'Reilly with a series of kicks and a sudden knee bar. His stuff looked really good. Just believable MMA style.
I like when he does the strike exchange, but now he does it really fast with the leg sweep winner, so it looks impactful. Looks and awesome. He just does it really fast and impactful, and I really like it.
Roddy does his signature running elbow strikes on the way by. The first one was the most obvious thigh slap ever.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. The stamina is there.
Guillotine knee by Kyle, I think, as Roddy was draped over maybe the second rope. Another backbreaker variation after a strike exchange from Roddy. Superplex from Roddy. Then a rapid exchange. Both men are down, and the crowd is showing their appreciation for both of these guys at this point. Wardlow shows up, and Jack is annoyed. He didn't even do anything.
He didn't. Reminding me that he exists is a negative.
And I think commentary tried to be like his presence was the turning point. Stop. He didn't do anything. He was there.
Story of his life is Wardlow didn't do anything.
Wardlow exists.
Much to my dismay.
Yeah. So we get a Kyle rebound lariat and a brainbuster, and then a leaping kick and a big end of heartache. Roddy retains the title.
End of heartache is beautiful.
18 minutes. Love the end of heartache.
Man, I really enjoyed this. You can tell these guys know each other really well, and they've run through this, or they They just know what they're doing, and I really like this. And one thing that made me really happy was we haven't followed him on Collision, so I was just glad to see that Kyle O'Reilly still got it.
Does he ever?
Because O'Reilly's awesome.
Yep.
I really loved him, and I remember he had some really good matches when they kind of gave him a solo run in NXT that they never followed through on, because then he was in the woods with Von Wagner.
He sure was.
Which I guess they
could reunite them.
Yes, do it. Book it. I will watch.
I'm
not even kidding when I say I will watch Collision if they book that. You do Kyle O'Reilly and what's Cal Bloom is his name?
Yep.
Do it. But anyways, I was really happy to see Kyle O'Reilly still had it. He was awesome here, and just show me he's still what he was, right? Because I feel like that's always a concern when because he's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy he was still good. The arm targeting was a good story through it, and Roddy targeting the back is
just classic.
Never gets old.
Never.
Just these guys are so good, and it was really good. They had some really good fast exchanges, and they know each other really well. I don't know. I really liked it.
It's exactly what I expected, and that's a good thing. Like, back and forth, super
it's even a little better
battle.
than I expected. I'd argue.
Yeah, the crowd was into it, and it's one of these matches that adds variety, right? Because this is a different, like, O'Reilly's working.
It's different from the opener.
A really realistic MMA style, and I think he's really good at it.
He's really good at it, yeah.
I thought this fit perfectly in the larger show where there's more spectacular stuff going on.
Yeah, it was really strong.
The backbreaker targeting, awesome. O'Reilly's style, he still looked really clean and crisp. I love both these. I gave this 4 stars, man. This is another match that I was like,
I'll go 4.25.
4.25, nice.
I thought this was really good, and I love these guys. So, and hey, worth noting after Cole got out of the wheelchair, so
I was just gonna say
up.
The other notable is Cole walks. However, I heard he's still nowhere near coming back.
If he can walk, I'll take that as a win.
It does make him look stronger not to be pushed out in a wheelchair.
It's a joke.
As bad as that sounds.
There is hope yet for this faction, although I will try to care. If Cole's doing things, but they warned me out.
I'm liking Roddy with this belt.
Me too, but I feel like they have wasted potential. That like he should be doing matches on Dynamite.
Yeah. Then we move into.
But there may be a brighter future for the international title.
Another championship match. Yeah, that's true. The FTW championship being defended by Hook.
Yeah. Being
challenged for by Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So it's FTW rules, which just means falls count anywhere, no DQ.
I didn't know it's falls count anywhere.
They added that.
I don't care.
Yeah. Which
I don't really care.
No, me either. We get a fist bump to start. Fozzy sucks chance early. Please retire chance later.
And like something else.
The crowd has turned. I feel like we were there when the crowd really.
I think we were early to the party, but then like I was saying to you when we were finishing.
Heel heat, it's go away.
It's
heat,
go away. Heat.
I
think it is for sure. You don't just get please retire chance
because that's new. That's not like, a thing.
Like. I don't know what's like Dominic Mysterio doesn't get that. You know, I know he's young, but like he could get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he doesn't because he's getting the proper heat. And I was saying to you when we were finishing Dynamite earlier was like I feel like we've been watching this slow transformation with the crowd response. Like, I feel like it was around Full Gear. I think was when that Kylie Ray stuff kind of came out. So you could hear a vocal but not overwhelming minority of people kind of turning away from Jericho. And then you could hear it was mixed, and then I think it's getting worse and worse. And then in Canada, in Toronto, when we were there, it was negative.
And that's in Canada where we love all Canadians.
Yeah, and so this crowd being as lively as they were for most of the show, I really enjoyed their like the Fossey Sucks was really funny.
Yeah.
All the derogatory chants to Jericho were funny, and then also I think it'll be interesting because next week in Dynamite they're in Winnipeg.
Right.
So
he'll probably get cheered there still.
I would think, but I'm curious to see if that'll be the case. Just because even in Toronto, like he got decently cheered when we went the first time. That's when he was still doing jazz. Because remember they did the bait and switch with the Judas. So it'll be interesting to see what his reaction is because the crowd was against him, and I'm here for it.
So we get a Northern Lights and a T-bone from Hook early on. He misses a leaping punch off the apron. Jericho gets a table, sets it up on the floor. Hook German on the floor. Jericho almost hits his head on the corner of the stairs, like very close to hitting it there.
Which I'm a little mean, but I said it'd be okay if he did.
You did say that. That's mean. You're poorly raised, it sounds like.
Jeff Hardy did it once, would that be so
bad? Trash can lid to Jericho.
Which said FTW on
probably not trash can kid, as my notes say. Probably not.
Maybe there's some homeless kid in a trash can under the ring.
Me calling some kid a trash can.
Yeah, Hook just grabbed some hobo kid under the ring and started wailing Jericho with him. You know,
Hook gets DDT'd onto a lid that isn't that impressive because they're like a couple layers away from being tinfoil, basically. But anyways.
It's a thin sheet of metal. It's different when you're getting whacked with it.
I'll tell you what did look more painful is the T-bone off the apron.
Hook like almost didn't throw him through enough, but it ended up looking pretty good.
Jericho goes through a table off of that, looked good. And then this is where we get a loud "Go Home Jericho" chant. A Frankensteiner by Jericho. He gets a trash can, but ends up taking a German suplex. Can on top of Jericho, kendo stick to can, T-bone to Jericho with his body inside the trash can. Hook gets a table, leans it in the corner. Codebreaker stops Hook's momentum. We get a red rum, but Jericho falls back through that table set up in the corner.
Which I thought was dumb because we literally had the one match with Brian Cage where Hook landed in thumbtacks on the red rum and kept it on.
True.
So are you implying a table's worse than thumbtacks? I think not, sir.
Maybe. Walls of Jericho, Hook counters out. Low blow, Judas effect for 2. Another Judas effect for another 2. So he goes, Jericho that is, goes and gets Floyd, the trusty bat. We get a double fingers from Hook in defiance. Bat shot from Jericho, and it's over. 18 minutes again. We have a new FTW champion.
I thought it was weird that they've been phrasing the Jericho thing as like he had to do with the bat. It's no DQ.
I know. Wasn't there a spot too where the ref stopped him from trying to cheat on a pinfall? I think.
I don't know.
I feel like that. Maybe not.
This kind of bored me. I didn't really care.
I said fine, but not special.
It was fine. Like it was about what I expected, but I also like that's not really a good thing in this case. Jericho, it's go away. I want him to go away. I'd really, really, really want him to go away. This was the first match for me that felt like it was a little longer than it needed to be. Yeah, I agree. 15 would have been fine. Like I just didn't want to see this because I like Hook in some cases. Like the match he had with Joe was really good.
Yes.
I thought the FTW match with Cage was fun on Dynamite, but if it's against like someone like Jericho, I guess it makes sense because Hook dominated him when it was straight up. So the only way Jericho has a chance is if but even no still, it was fine. But as far as plunder matches go, it was kind of mid, and Jericho winning doesn't help things. I forgot to walk away when that happened, as I had promised. The table spot was good. That was probably the only thing that I'll really remember. I said 3 stars, like kind of average. I'm gonna go 2.5 because screw Jericho. Fair enough. It's the Jericho. He gets a demerit. That's the Judas effect right there. Then we move into our second women's match of the night and final, that is for the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm, red hot Toni Storm, as I keep being told, defending against Thunder Rosa. With no face. Was it Thunder Rosa? She didn't have face paint. She came out in a lucha mask, right? Yeah. And then took it off. No face paint. Even though they've shown pictures of her without it. And she wore half face paint for a while. This is the real her? I don't know. Even though she had like eye makeup. And Storm did have face paint. It was like white powder. She was in white face, basically. So this was allegedly Thunder Rosa. Correct. Can't confirm. So Storm's in control of this until Rosa hits a head scissors and a tornillo to the floor, in which I said Kalani Jordan's tornillo is much nicer. And Kalani Jordan's like 5 years old and has been wrestling for 7 minutes. She does look like an adult person who's 5 years old. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's Thunder how I feel. Rosa's is just like slow and not tight. Jordan's is like a tight, quick spiral. Anyways, doesn't matter. Storm backbreaker as she regains control of the match. We get a Rosa powerbomb later out of the corner. Rosa hits a missile drop kick and a Samoan drop, and then a crucifix bomb for 2. Nice little flurry. Rosa hits a Death Valley driver on the apron, and she continues to dominate sort of the middle portion of this, I guess. Rosa then tweaks her back, so Storm capitalizes with a backstabber, a DDT, and a fisherman suplex. We get a sky high by Storm for a near fall. Strike exchange, German suplex by Storm, but Rosa gets up, hits her own German suplex in return. Mariah May gets up on the apron, and Deonna Purrazzo makes an appearance and takes out Luther and Mariah May. Deonna and May very awkwardly fight to the back. It was like... Those things are always kind of... so cheesy. Yeah. Storm hits a German suplex, hip attack, and Storm 0 for 2. Storm locks in a cloverleaf. Rosa gets to the ropes. Then that choke submission by Rosa was awful looking. Remember how they're saying... like you could see Toni Storm's entire neck, and it's supposed to be tight on her neck, and you could have parked a car in the gap between her. It's like seen as STF. Neck. It was awful, and the camera angle just showed that it was nowhere near any way could choke anyone. I don't think Rosa's that good anymore. Low blow kick behind the ref. Storm 0. Why are low blows in women's matches becoming a thing? That doesn't make sense. Storm retains in 16 minutes, as we expected. I like this more than you. I know that. Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, better than the last match, but kind of what I expected. Like, it was okay. I went 3.5 stars. It kind of over-delivered. I thought it was one of the better Storm matches. And to keep in line, I would go 3.
Rosa's best since her return, I thought.
Low bar.
Lots of hard-hitting offense and near falls. Not everything was perfect. That submission looked terrible. But I thought they got a lot done in the time they were given. Better match than the story leading into it. And even commentary, I don't know if it was, I think it was on this show, pointed out, like, who the heck could possibly challenge Toni Storm? It's almost like they're pointing out.
It has to be Hater. Or, if we're praying hard enough, Serena Deeb.
Yes, because that is a possibility.
And sorry, to catch up on picks, both picked Roddy. You get one up on Jericho because you're
smart boy.
You're a psychopath.
That's going to be the difference, I think.
It is. You're a psychopath is all. And then we both picked this one. I knew that because I'm not picking Thunder Rosa in my right mind.
Right. Next match is the one that...
The match.
And it is...
the greatest match since Forbidden Door.
Bryan Danielson taking on Will Ospreay, and the crowd is bananas before the bell even rings for this.
It reminds me of Omega Ospreay.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Mat wrestling to start. Multiple stalemates because both these guys are just so damn good. Nobody can get an advantage on anyone. We got lots of crowd chants going on. It's lots of this fast action going on, but nobody can really get the upper hand. We get the middle finger from Danielson. Ospreay starts to get a little bit annoyed. The crowd are chanting "F you, Don Callis," and Nigel's like, they're saying "I love Don Callis" or something like that, right? Ospreay starts to roll with a drop kick and
that's proper heel heat.
After he flips out of a snapmare that I love when they like EO flipped out of that whatever it was, that
plant,
Mania looked amazing. Big strikes from Danielson, but a running boot by Ospreay and a slingshot crossbody to the floor. Anti-air kick to the midsection stops Ospreay as Danielson takes over for a bit. Handspring corkscrew kick derails Danielson. Ospreay is in control again.
I always love that.
Sky twister to the floor. Danielson kicks Ospreay's arm before a tiger suplex. We get a cattle mutilation. We get a Frankensteiner, but Ospreay obviously flips out as one does.
As a regular person does, yeah.
Hook kick tiger driver by Ospreay. Avalanche tiger suplex.
Bananas.
Do you, think about what that looks like and how much you have to trust that person. You are both going blindly backwards, and you're trusting the other guy.
Your arms are behind you
to drop you on the back of your head and neck and upper back
in a safe manner.
Right. So it's bananas.
It was sweet.
So part of the reason this match is so exciting, it's not only because they're doing such cool stuff, but this is literally stuff other people can't do. Like, there's not that many people that can do some of the stuff these guys do.
They can do half the stuff.
Right? So we get yes kicks to the elbow. Ospreay's defiant, keeps sitting back up and wanting more. Huge elbow strike stops Danielson cold. Os cutter on the apron. Hidden blade off the apron. Danielson barely beats the count. Slingshot drop kick and a power bomb by Ospreay for 2. Bunch of counters lead to La Mystica into the label lock. That's the thing where you spin around and face
that
first
was
down.
Cool. I thought it was fast.
It was
Danielson
so
doesn't
fast.
usually do that, so I thought it was cool.
More yes kicks, and then I just have too many counters to list. Psycho knee for 2. Crowd is going insane.
Was that where I think he might have missed the hidden blade, and then he got the Psycho knee, I think, which I think was kind of cool.
Yeah, crowd's nuts. Danielson starts stomping away at the head as he does. Triangle choke by Danielson, gets countered into a Styles Clash.
That was really cool, I thought.
Really hard slaps.
Ospreay did he got into the Styles Clash really fast, too. Like, it was really fluid.
Everything is so fast and clean. Shoulder capture suplex by Danielson. Immediate hidden blade.
Yeah, Ospreay powers through, and which people are going to get annoyed because he did that same thing in Takeshita's match.
What is this? Oh my god!
It was when he got caught. It was the shoulder capture suplex. He powered through hidden blade. Then he goes to the Oz cutter, caught perfectly with the Psycho.
Amazing!
It was incredible.
Again, I don't know how many people can do this.
One of the perfect midair catches I've ever seen.
And the camera angle was perfect. Looked incredible.
I liked when Omega just lifted his knee better because I thought that just looked cooler. But this looked crazy.
Hidden blade tiger driver, another hidden blade.
Is crazy to do on Danielson, by the way.
And in fact, Danielson sells it so much afterwards, and now
I was concerned for a second. I'm not even kidding.
Ospreay wants to get rid of it,
move, which I think is a cool story to tell. But like, legitimately after the match, I
was concerned.
I mean, I knew it was okay, but at the same time, I was like, is he okay?
There's no good way to take that, right?
Because really. I mean, Omega's the one we saw with Omega will forever be the best one because that one he got straight dropped on his head.
I didn't even make a note of how long this was.
It was hidden blade, tiger driver, hidden blade. I'll look at it.
So. Unbelievable match. This is 2 of the best wrestlers in the world just being let loose to do what they want, and this is a dream match, and it delivered. if Omega Osprey's the benchmark, and it is for me, this falls a tiny bit short, mostly due to the build and the story coming into it isn't as strong as the history and stuff with Omega and Osprey. But this was epic and delivered. Multiple counters throughout were crazy. Osprey's explosiveness on full display.
Osprey is like, I've seen some people saying like it's just a bunch of flippy stuff and it's the same as all Osprey matches, not special. I disagree. He's special every time.
He is.
He's amazing. Sorry, let's look at this real quick. 32 minutes. Perfect. This was like the nicest thing I can say is that one, it delivered on the lofty expectations everyone had, and two, it's probably my favorite wrestling match since Forbidden Door. Is it better than the Texas Death Match? I don't know, but like just purely based on a wrestling match, it is the best I've seen since
my favorite match of all time. Contender, if not front runner.
It's the front runner for me. It is most certainly the front runner. I think it takes the spot from Osprey to Takeshita, sadly.
Yeah.
But that's a win for Osprey either way. This was fantastic. If Danielson, if this is his last full-time run, he is definitely going on his terms. He's going out on top. This was incredible. And I like how, because early on, it was a slower technical pace to kind of benefit Danielson. Yes. Then later on, it picks up to more high-octane stuff to benefit Osprey. It played to both their strengths and kind of meshed really well.
It was amazing.
And the final few minutes, you will find few better. Like, I think you said it was the final few minutes of Osprey Omega 2 was like perfect.
6 to 8 minutes of that are perfection.
This is close.
Yep. I went 4 3/4 stars.
I think the other one was like 5 stars. I would agree with that. It's not quite 5-star, but
like, I love the opener. This was a little better, but I can't go 5 stars.
But this was fantastic.
Amazing match. Go see it if you didn't.
Yeah, and we both picked Osprey as I expected, but like fantastic.
Next we get another title match for the tag team championships. It's a ladder match. It's Young Bucks taking on FTR.
And a tough act to follow.
My first note, crowd is dead. Like, they're just exhausted at this point.
I can't blame them. It's not like it's a bad crowd because they've been a really good crowd.
They have.
To their credit,
they rebound.
It does suck, but I think, not to spoil them too much, but I think this match did a good job to follow up the last one because it's really hard.
I agree. So the Dax is bloody early on. I think he hit his head on the steps. I feel like maybe it was hard way, and that's where the concussion came from.
I think so.
The pace is slow with the Bucks dominating because the new Bucks style, right? They don't do as much exciting stuff as they used to.
Which I wish they would have maybe even busted it out for this, just because it's a ladder match.
With the lack of high-flying stuff, Cash
Wheeler.
He's a cruiserweight.
Yeah, he did like a moonsault off a ladder bridge at one point.
First thing,
which I was like surprisingly graceful for a guy who like his tag moniker
is he doesn't think it's smart. So.
Yeah, like for a guy who doesn't do it ever, he does it really good because like he's busted a springboard 450 on a couple occasions. He's really fast.
That dive that's coming up was crazy.
He is so fast.
EVP triggered a Cash on a ladder bridge.
That was cool because he was like, it's always that fear when you're on the ladder bridge that your feet will get like stuck and that's what happened to him, and then he's basically like stuck for the EVP trigger, which I thought was kind of cool. So that was a cool way to
do it. The Bucks are back in control and things get deliberate, so it's kind of bizarro world where FTR is working fast and the Bucks are working slow,
which I don't mind the change, but it does make the match feel different in addition to the ladders.
So Cash steps up. He's on fire because Dax is really bloody and sort of selling a lot. We get a Dax Bulldog off Cash's shoulders to Matt. It was pretty cool.
Is that like the Steiners move where it's like the electric chair Bulldog?
Yeah, electric chair Bulldog, basically, yes. Slingshot onto Nick. I don't have any more details on that. Cash spears Matt off the apron through a table and into the barricade.
That's so risky.
Looked super painful for Matt.
He goes a million miles. Like, Cash deserves some credit with Fraser and Breaker because Cash is crazy fast. I forgot because there was like a few matches in their Epic 2022 run where we were like, he's crazy fast. I think he would like run across the ring to cut someone off or something. He is crazy fast.
He is. We get a Nicholas Hurricane Rana to Dax off the apron through a table. Everybody's at the top of a ladder. Matt's kind of the last one to fall. Shatter Machine kind of off of the ladder.
Stealing from the family.
Exactly. Nick with a chair to FTR, Powerplex off the ladders.
That was awesome.
Cool by
Super
FTR.
Powerplex.
Yes, exactly. Nick 450 to Cash through a table on the floor. From the top.
Yeah, that was awesome. Perfect.
Just as on the other side, Matt's being pile driven into a ladder by Dax.
Very nice.
We get a sunset bomb by Nick to Dax off of a ladder. And then this is where Nick moves out of the way and Dax...
No, it was Cash. He like ran in a million miles an hour, suicide dive through a table. It was like the spot that Matt Taven did, but like better.
Faster.
Like Cash, man. Oh, that was awesome.
Dax pushes Nick off a ladder and is all alone. Looks like he's going to grab those titles, but a masked guy from the crowd comes out, gets unmasked, and it's Jungle
expected.
Boy.
Hey, it's Jack Perry.
And the look he gave when they unmasked him was like
perfect,
unbelievable.
I love his little.
It's the best acting he's ever done.
I love his douchey smile. And can I just say, like, okay, I love the little smile too. It's so funny to me. But the crowd reaction, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I think
he's a bigger deal now.
We'll talk about it later, but I think he's the one that truly benefited from that footage. He's really
seems like it.
I think so, because I heard
Punk's
the reaction.
Making stars like Jericho can't.
I guess
making stars by hating them.
Yeah, I guess. Like, but the reaction he got in Chicago, at the New Japan show, his last one was really good. I heard.
Yeah.
And then on Dynamite and
he's connecting as a heel.
It's working. Time. It's finally working, because his heel run before all this was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, I agree. It was. He
sold that perfectly, and then he's like getting stories through the crowd, and you can see him like kind of gesturing this to the Bucks.
So the Bucks win, which we predicted. Jungle Boy helps them, which we predicted. Didn't get the time on this one either. If you still have that pulled up,
I do.
So I thought this
21-35,
a car crash of a match, as you kind of expected.
And I think they did a really good job of following that match of the year contender. Because was it as good? No, and I don't think it was ever going to be. But I thought it was still really strong, and I think kudos to Cash, I think, for being the match MVP, really busting out all the chops to pull it together after that match, and also with Dax maybe being limited.
I was just going to say, if Dax is concussed, Cash
really pulled it together.
And he did.
Here. So I think, like, with Forbidden Door, it was the other two matches. It was like a Sting Jericho Trios match or something, which was never going to be good. But also, Okada Danzo really suffered from that, which I think we'll talk about with this main event as well.
We will.
But I think this match did a really good job of shaking off that effect and still being a really great match in its own right.
Yeah, I thought, yes, the Perry arrival was predictable, and so was kind of the finish. But it was
awesome, though.
But predictable doesn't mean bad. Like, it was still satisfying.
The crowd loved it perfectly. His reaction was great. A lot of great spots in this one. Like, Cash went through the table. There's a 450 through the table, moonsault, powerplex, pile driver on the ladder, you name it.
So not my favorite Bucks FTR, but I went 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was very good.
I would agree with that. I thought it was really strong, and again, followed up as good as they could after that. Dream match.
Yep. The only thing left is the main event, and that is for the AEW Championship. It is Swerve Strickland taking on Samoa Joe, and we're going to be happy either way. Joe has had an amazing run, and it's Swerve's time, so kind of either way.
Yep.
There's no losing here. We get a Joe Uranagi to Swerve on the announce table really early on.
Which, it looks good, but the way Hook whiplashed on his, I can never take it any other way. Like, that one was just too good.
Joe pulls up some mats, but just in time for Swerve to hit a Fosbury flop onto him. We get a snap power slam that looked good to Swerve on that the exposed concrete floor.
Yeah, that was really good.
Hard leg sweep by Joe as he's in control for an extended stretch here. Chop exchange seems to fire Swerve up, but then a big back elbow from Joe takes him out again. Joe ends up hitting his arm on the ring post, so Swerve hones in on that. Swerve with a German suplex after a lot of arm work. We get Swerve with his classic rolling flatliner, and then he goes back to the arm. Joe powers out of a triangle, hits a muscle buster for 2. Joe grabs the belt but gets caught with a house call getting back in the ring. And then I like this when he Swerve hit the 450 to the back of Joe's head and neck.
Yeah, remember that's how he won the North American title against Bronson.
And then we get a Swerve stomp for a pretty believable near fall there. Joe resorts to a thumb to the eye to stop Swerve's momentum. Joe gets the belt again. The ref's distracted this time. He starts to choke Swerve, but Swerve escapes. Swerve snaps Joe's left arm with his foot. That looked pretty good there too. We get a house call for 2, a power bomb. I don't know what I was writing there.
Was the power bomb from the corner?
I don't know. My notes are rough there. But this was the finish. So talk about the finish.
It was like, so Joe's standing on the middle rope and Swerve's up top. He's like yelling at him, and then he like jumps over him like he's gonna do a superstore stomp, but like jumps over him for some reason.
Something was supposed to happen.
I don't know why it didn't happen, but then he just like power bombs him and hits a Swerve stomp.
And it's over. I didn't get the time on this either.
18 minutes.
18?
I think 18 flat, I want to say. Yeah.
So obviously emotional for Swerve as he's celebrating. He's the first black champion in AEW, or main
black world champion. Scorp was tag and TNT
which
champion.
Is super cool for him. Yeah. Really good match.
I thought it was good, but honestly, I felt underwhelmed.
I did too.
Like, it wasn't bad. I thought it was strong, but I went
3.5, and I liked a bunch of other matches better.
I would agree. it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was good, but really just it felt like it underdelivered. And it might partially be because we witnessed one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. But and like I said, like honestly, I'd put Ospreay, Strong O'Reilly, the opener, and maybe the trios match.
I know.
Over this.
I agree.
Which sucks. But this was still good in its own right. And obviously, I'm more so just happy that Swerve got his moment. I think it's absolutely deserved. I'm glad they're pulling the trigger when they're supposed to.
Yes.
Because holding off on this longer would be risky.
I agree.
So I'm glad they did that. The finish being kind of wonky does hurt it a little bit, but I'm not going to talk too many points for that. Honestly, it just felt kind of underwhelming in general.
I agree.
And that sucks, but that's how it happens sometimes. And I feel like we felt the same with Okada Danielson. So.
And for a guy who wasn't even supposed to get the title, I think Joe's run was awesome.
Joe's run was great, yeah.
He's such a believable champion, and just...
It's crazy that I never expected that run to come, but it was great for what it was.
I think if Cole doesn't break his foot, this doesn't happen for Joe, right? So I'm happy for Joe.
That's true. It might not have happened. I mean, it could have been the plan anyways, because that would be Cole's reveal would still go out the same.
Yeah.
So you could argue it would still happen, but regardless... don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Because Joe's reign was awesome. It is one for the ages, even though it is short. It was virtually flawless.
Yeah. I don't know how you give this show not an A. I gave it an A.
I give it an A. Like what? The only matches I was really disappointed with were what I expected. Like the TBS match was short, but meh. The FTW match wasn't great, but I didn't expect it to be. The other women's match was okay, I thought, and then the main event was underwhelming. But what else? The opener was awesome. The trios match was really good. Strong O'Reilly was awesome. Ospreay Danielson was amazing. Ladder match was legendary. Awesome. And so yeah, I thought this was a really good show. It's an A show for sure. And if they're adding more pay-per-views to the schedule, you need to do more like this.
Yep, this was a lot of fun. Again, I paid 55 Canadian dollars for this and did not bat an eye. So great work, AEW. Appreciate it.
Pay-per-views still deliver. Real
quick on TNA Rebellion. Didn't watch the countdown show. Opener of the real show was Mustafa Ali, Jake something. I like this match. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. I thought it could have gotten a bit more time. It was 11 minutes, and Ali just sort of trapped him in a pinning predicament with holding on to the bottom rope to steal victory. But Jake something is a powerhouse, so I really like him.
I did see that one spot you mentioned to me, the Hurricane Rana catch.
Oh yeah, which is
really cool.
And he just sort of powers him up into a power bomb. He is impressive. So I like that match. On the other end of the spectrum, Joe Hendry, Rich Swann, just a waste of time. Swann hits a top rope splash to win after Sean Merriman. Go ahead and Google his legal troubles if you're interested. So he's involved, a former football player, San Diego Charger, I believe. Everything involving AJ Francis is a waste of time, and this was 7 minutes. Could have been on TV. The crowd likes Hendry, and I think he's a good fit, but getting involved with Francis is death right now, and First Class have nothing going for them. I gave that 2 1/4 stars. I thought it was a big waste of time. Kazarian, Eric Young, Full Metal Mayhem. The finish of this was gruesome. I showed you. According to the Impact own website, they're saying Eric Young had to have his ear sewn back on because reattached because he took a
battery and false imprisonment.
There you go. A false imprisonment. Flux capacitor by Kaz off the top through a table, and Eric Young, you can watch his head cut open and bleed in real time. It was disgusting. Most of the stuff in this was standard. I'm not interested in either of these guys at this point in their careers. Little better than average, but overall, I gave it 3 1/4. It was fine. Macklin comes in to the ring and he announces he's re-signed with TNA. And basically, he's getting a match right now, and it is returning TNA star, and we're a big fan of him. It's Mike Santana.
Love Santana.
So we get Macklin and Santana in a 9-minute match. Santana successfully hits the STB clothesline. It's just a discus clothesline he's using. I really like him. I think he can be a standout single star in a company like TNA. And getting a debut win over Macklin. Macklin's an established guy, former world champion, right? So evidence that they want to do something significant. I really think
they need another mid-card title that's not stupid digital media other than X Division. Like a TV title I think would be perfect for them because that feels like a great mid-card title and they have weekly TV, so it just makes sense.
Turn the digital media one into that.
Yeah, turn it in like a retire and make it a TV title so at least it has a separate lineage, you know what I mean? But because I feel like Macklin deserves something to do, but I don't know if he's quite up to world title standards anymore.
No.
So, and like Santana too, because I feel like the X Division being the only one is like, I don't know. And I don't think you need a million belts, obviously, but no. I think one more would be good for them.
Yeah, the digital media one's dumb. Like, we can all agree.
Laredo Kid won it on the pre-show. Does that make sense?
He did. So I like this unannounced match more than several on this card, including the 2 matches right before it, to be honest. A solid performance. Glad to see Santana. I get 3.5 stars to that one. Then we get the Tag Team Championship. It's the System being represented by Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, defending against Speedball Mountain, which is Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. And I really enjoyed this match. I got into it quite a bit. Thought it was one of the better matches on this show. Speedball Mountain are really fun, and a nice contrast of styles with Eddie and Myers. So Eddie and Myers ended up winning. They hit Trent Seven with a roster cut and knee party combination after 13 minutes. So I'm pretty bored with Eddie Edwards overall, but I do still enjoy some of his bigger matches, right? He seems to... And the System had
he just needs to clean himself up.
System had to cheat again. I'm pretty sure that Alicia got involved. You said you went and watched it. The backpack stunner, top rope elbow combination by the System is good.
As long as they do it like...
Because Myers really jumps before these even hit the backpack.
Yeah, if they do it really fast like that, I feel like it's a really cool combination.
So if Eddie doesn't do it in the exact right place, like it's pretty precise. I thought it looked really good.
It was flush.
Really good tag team match, 3 3/4 stars. Alexander Hammerstone had their 3rd match, I think? Last man standing. The last man standing
was the blow off.
So this one, Alexander hits the C4 spike on the ramp, and then he's down for the referee's count of 10, and Alexander gets the count out victory basically here. That's how they work. Last man standing. The crazy spot in this was the Nightmare Pendulum.
I saw Avalanche Nightmare Pendulum on Tax.
Onto Tax.
It was pretty cool.
That was crazy. I really like this match. These two seem to have really good chemistry. I've liked all 3 of their matches so far. Lots of apron spots in this one. It was like the apron spot, the match sort of thing.
It is the hardest part of the ring.
And that Nightmare Pendulum onto Tax was crazy. Really good action, strong match to finish this feud. Both of these guys, in my opinion, should hang around the top of the card in TNA. I gave this 4 stars, and like Hammerstone continues to impress me, and that he's the exact type of talent I think TNA should be focusing on. Like guys that are sort of in smaller indie things that deserve a sort of level up kind of thing.
But not quite like AEW or WWE.
But not like Ash, for example.
I don't think she needs any kind of spotlight.
We get another Gresham group therapy vignette, and it looks like what I'm taking from this is he's wrestling in the octopus mask minus the tentacles, maybe, and that it was him with the grills in that they zoom in on. So it's like alter ego. I'm not quite sure.
Strange. Have you seen, speaking of alter egos for a bit of digression, have you seen any of that Blackheart Leo Rush stuff?
No. I might check it out.
It's interesting.
So I think Gresham's awesome in the ring, so I hope they find something that works for him. I'm curious to see what it was. Then we get the Knockouts World Champion match, which is Jordan Grace versus Steph DeLander, and this immediately went on my front runner for probably worst women's match of the year.
Oh, poor Jordan.
Not that I don't like Jordan Grace.
Oh, I know.
And I'm curious about Steph DeLander, but I was annoyed by
I never thought she was good in NXT.
There was crazy overbooking by this. So Grace hits DeLander with the Juggernaut driver to retain after 16 minutes.
Oh, they changed the name.
But the referee looks idiotic for all the stuff going on in here. A second ref just magically shows up at the right time. So a 16-minute mess involving the Good Hands, PCO, Khan, and a returning Sami Callihan without getting into too many details.
Yeah, so that's who I called for the Lights Out, but the Lights Out turned out to not be him, so I guess he just showed up by chance.
And I was interested in seeing DeLander featured in a full-length pay-per-view match, but I don't know what I really saw here because this felt like a late 90s WCW layout where just
which is what we like to see.
Run in, get involved. Like not much wrestling happening. I'm a big fan of Jordan Grace. I thought this was like 2.5 stars. I thought this was rough. I know some people are like, oh, it was fun. No, not fun. Disagree. I'm glad Callahan's back, but I don't know why.
Those are probably the same people who
was the return.
Because I've seen people talking about how Zayn's had like back-to-back great Mania matches. You know what the first one they include is?
What? Nope.
Jackass.
No.
Jackass.
Nope.
Like those are the same people who enjoy that.
Those
crap.
Same people should
I will
not be
die on that hill
wrestling.
that match is horrible.
It was horrible. Of course it was.
I will die on that hill.
Only other thing, the main event was Nemeth taking on Moose, challenging for the title.
Talk about who came back.
And Moose retains, hitting a spear for the win.
Talk about
18 minutes, underwhelming, felt pretty ordinary to me, especially for a main event title on one of their major pay-per-views. And I think Nemeth is fine, but this idea that he's the biggest free agent signing in their history
since Kurt Angle
is crazy to me. I just couldn't get into this, and I wasn't even sure who was going to win, so that wasn't the problem. It's just
who came back.
Nemeth doesn't look the strongest since he lost, even though the system were sent away from ringside, right? And honestly, Moose's spear didn't look as impactful, so I didn't think it helped Nemeth. And then after the match, obviously, the system come out to celebrate with Moose. The lights go out, and
Moose is the world's dumbest heel. He keeps getting attacked from behind and doesn't learn his lesson.
It's broken Matt Hardy. So he takes out Moose with a twist of fate and stands tall with the title to end the show.
So that's what you want to see in 2024, Matt Hardy posing with your world title?
So I don't know, man. Like, I get it, and the broken character I never really thought got its proper due, but
I think it's too late. That ship has sailed.
No longer has knees and it's like can't move.
Yeah, so I think regardless of your feelings on the broken character, like what you're saying, I feel like the fact that you say it never got its full due or whatever, it's never going to get its full due.
Too little, too late.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna get its full due now. It's not gonna be.
I will say the crowd responded favorably.
Yeah, I don't think they wouldn't.
That's that nostalgia pop, right? That's different than seeing this guy wrestle.
That's different than the crazy pop for Jack Perry, I think. Like, this is a nostalgia pop.
I agree.
And when I saw him come back, I chuckled because I don't have to deal with it.
So overall, the show was a mixed bag. I won't even give it a letter grade. I didn't want to put that much thought into it, but I watched it. Like the Hammerstone match, I liked. The opening X Division and the tag match, I thought were all worth a watch. I guess that's going to wrap up this segment. We will now transition into our normal stuff, which is taking a look at this past Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite. All right, so following that awesome pay-per-view, what did we get on this week's Dynamite?
We're back in Daly's Place, which, we're
nice.
always a fan of.
We are.
It honestly might be my favorite venue of all of wrestling.
It's cool.
I love how different it is, and I was thinking to myself...
And there's a nostalgia of this is when this amazing, exciting new product was starting. And
genuine nostalgia, and also just, like, it's a combination of nostalgia and just the uniqueness of it. Like, that's actually feels different to me, and it's like, even for someone who doesn't always notice, like you, it's visually different.
Correct. I notice.
And I was thinking to myself, I might rather go to like an AEW show at Daly's Place rather than go to like All In, because I feel like All In would be like overwhelming and stuff. And I feel like Daly's Place would just be really cool to be.
More intimate kind of open air. I like that. Yeah,
it'd be really cool. I would love for them with more pay-per-views do a pay-per-view here. I'd love to have like a major show where you're gonna get some good matches in this kind of atmosphere. You know what I mean? So I would really hope they come back for a pay-per-view here, because I think it'd be really cool. I think they should have modified the set to have the tunnel, because usually they do for Dailies.
They do, yeah.
That's okay. I still really enjoy their setup here.
Yep.
We have no intro again, which I don't think we did last week either. The Elite arrive. Bucks and Okada step out of an SUV. They're talking about the great night they had at Dynasty, because now they all got belts. Another one rocks up behind them and outwalks Jack Perry. Security try to take him away again, but the Bucks say he's with them, and they all walk in. It was just a little bit to start us off with no intro, and I'm super interested to see what Perry does. It seems like a lot of people are based on the reactions.
Yeah, it was just carrying over the last thing we saw at the pay-per-view. I saw someone comparing this
to the Evolution Walk, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. This made sense, right? It was the thing they left us with on the pay-per-view, so start with it here, I guess.
Makes sense. Then we hear from Orange Cassidy. He makes the entrance, but he gets thrown out the entranceway, Lance Archer style, by Trent.
Yeah.
He beats him down a bit. He calls Chuck out. Chuck decides to come out.
He does.
Trent said he's sorry he didn't do this a long time ago. He said he's sorry they spent 5 years hugging this narcissistic prick. Too many s's there.
Yeah.
He talked about how Orange Cassidy was meant to be their mascot, but then they became his lackeys, and he gave them nothing. Then he told Chuck he cared about him. He said he's his friend and he loves him. He says he wants Chuck to give the people what they want. Chuck said he always thought Trent was a piece of crap. He hits him with a mic and he knocks Trent out. Then he challenges him to a parking lot brawl.
Yeah, did not go in the direction I thought. I thought some of Trent's heel logic was kind of fine.
I actually did think it was solid. I think his reasoning makes sense, because I think Cassidy ended up overshadowing them and outdoing them more than anyone could have expected, especially with the international run last year. Like, I never imagined him being one of my favorite wrestlers of the year.
Right.
So I think Trent's point of view makes sense. I like it because it's a heel point of view, like where you can see where he's coming from, but it also doesn't fully justify attacking your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's the perfect sweet spot because I feel like there's been some AEW segments in times like this where the reason we're kind of like, you know what I mean? But I feel like this one works really well in that you can see where he's coming from and why he might be justified, but it doesn't fully excuse his actions to the point where we're like, why are we agreeing with the heel? You know what I mean? It's like the perfect sweet spot of reasonable and not reasonable. Does that make sense?
My only issue would be these are two guys who never win anything or do anything, so how important is them breaking up? But
I'm a little fearful for what they do post.
I agree, because I don't see Trent getting much of a push, especially if he's going solo, right? And I was kind of hoping Chuck would go heel and they stayed like heel tag team.
Yeah.
But anyways, the match that
Parking Lot Brawl could be really cool, and
really
I really like the callback there.
So yeah, that should be fun.
I agree. I think that could be quite interesting. I missed that Parking Lot Brawl. That was awesome. I miss Santana Ortiz. That was a great match. Just makes me sad. Then a quick Moxley promo. He says he knows what it takes to get to the top and what it takes to stay there. He knows he'll have to deal with the Callis family while facing Hobbs tonight. He's ready for a march through hell, and he claimed this was the greatest sport in the world, and he remind the world who he is in case they forget. He said when the world will feel it when Hobbs' carcass hits the mat, whether they're in Jacksonville or Tokyo.
Yeah, first thing he does, because he's a pro, he puts over Hobbs.
He always does such a good job with that. I always love it.
Yeah, another good promo, and I'm hoping the Callis family get a rub from these issues with Blackpool, because for me, the Callis family wasn't quite used as well as they should be, so I'm hoping this is
I think they did a really good job of using them last year when they were forming.
Yes, but then there was a lull, and now we're ascending again. I think
the lull was part Sammy Guevara reverted back because Omega was out, which was stupid.
Yeah.
The C2 kind of took up a lot of TV time for a lot of people, which is okay because the C2 is awesome. But then they haven't quite revived. I think they're working their way there.
And they have Takeshita, Ospreay technically right now still, Fletcher, who Hobbs. I love, and then
it's a
Hobbs,
great
who
group
I like,
of guys, which obviously it'll change. But any group with Takeshita is worth my time.
That's right.
It's a little strange to make this for the IWGP title of all things, because no offense to Hobbs, him challenging for it makes as much sense as Jack Perry did at Forbidden Door last year. Yeah. Remember that was weird?
Yeah, it's not likely a title change is happening tonight.
We need Mox versus Takeshita, though. That could be for the title, no problem. Takeshita deserves any and all the belts.
That's right.
As many belts as he can fit on those baggy-ass pants he's got.
He did wear baggy pants on this episode.
It's like Paul Burchill.
Baggy pants, no shirt.
Paul Burchill's definitely wondering where his pants went.
Pirate.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Opening match is Swerve Strickland versus Kyle Fletcher, decked out in white, in an AEW World Championship Eliminator. It's a random-ass Eliminator, but it's Swerve and Fletcher, so it doesn't get any complaints from me.
Odd placement for your brand new champion, too, I thought.
I did see something that they went kind of low-key with this because their Rampage Collision stuff tomorrow is after NBA stuff, so they're going to get a lot of eyes on this, so they're doing Swerve Celebration thing on Collision to get more eyes on him.
Okay, good, because this annoyed me,
see something,
and I did mention it in my final comments, that I did not like Swerve's treatment on this show.
That just
as your brand new champion, first ever Black World Champion, sticking him in the third segment of the show.
Yeah,
and
I think they could have done.
Now he was second fiddle to the Bucks. He was second fiddle to Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I agree. I think they could have done better, but at least there's a reason for what they're doing, and I guess it kind of makes sense.
I hope so. But yeah, I did not love Swerve's treatment here.
The match, though.
The match is fine. That's not the issue. Other than the gold sleeves he's wearing again. Not a fan, but anyways.
You hate the gold sleeves.
So you're not Axiom, dude, or whatever. I don't know. It's not. I don't know. It doesn't work.
You're
the coolest guy ever. You don't wear solid gold sleeves.
I find it really funny because it's something I would get angry about, and I don't care at all.
Allow me to give Swerve fashion advice.
I just find it funny because it's something you would never, you have never ever cared about.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
There's so many. I think you commented less on Ren Sinclair's ring attire, and she's wearing half pants.
Half pants?
There's worse things out there.
I secretly wanted half pants to catch on so I can wear them. That's why.
You just been waiting for the half pants to catch on in the men's fashion.
I've got a pair ready.
Ever since Zack Ryder did it in 2011 or whatever. It's just been slowly working its way to the mainstream.
I've been having pants for years. I just haven't.
It's just it's in this dark corner of your closet that doesn't see the light of day.
Exactly.
And that makes sense. At least there's a reason. Back by a drop on the outside from Swerve, followed by a pump kick from the apron. Super kick, and Fletcher hits his Michinoku jar, which looks amazing.
Awesome.
We see the Elite walking into Tony Khan's office in a picture-in-picture video. Neckbreaker on the apron from Swerve, and a Swerve stomp on the apron, which looked awesome. Fletcher catches Swerve's attempt at a house call, turns into an ankle lock, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve eventually got to the ropes. Swerve hits that combination he does where he does the roll through flatliner, smooth transition into a suplex for a 2 count. There's a bit of a counter struggle, and Fletcher kind of struggled to get him up, but I think it's okay because it's one of those like realistic strength spots kind of deal.
I agree.
He gets Swerve up for the tombstone for 2. I wish he did like the jumping spin on it because
I don't mind the struggles. The struggles are real. You're picking up a 200-pound dude. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah, that's what. So I thought it was like a bit of a slip, but also like one that would kind of make sense.
Yep.
Callis is like calling a play from commentary, and Fletcher goes to grab tail, but then he doesn't.
Ooh.
Fletcher connects with the corner Inzaguri. Swerve counters a superplex attempt, hits a swerve stomp with Fletcher like hanging onto the ropes for 2, and the house call picks up the win. Which I thought was cool because I love a good house call. It's fantastic.
I thought this was very good. I was hoping for great. I thought the first couple minutes were a little bland, but then
I agree. It took some time to get into.
A lot more interesting when Fletcher gets lots of offense because his offense is so cool looking, and he didn't get a bunch for a while, but makes sense the world champ would dominate a lot of the action, right? So I thought Swerve looked really good in the latter parts
I like
as well.
getting Fletcher on my screen regardless.
Yep, I enjoyed this. I knew I would, and I did end up liking it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a great little
match of the show.
I mean, I did enjoy the random thing we got later on.
Okay,
I'll say.
Yeah. That's true. I did too.
It was really good. Love both these guys, so I never expect anything bad. I saw one comment on like I think it was the match announcement for the bunkhouse brawl that we need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That say that Fletcher's a bad wrestler. And it's just one of those takes that's just stupid.
Dumb.
Stupid. He's so young, but he's great in the ring. He's got great pacing, and I know I've heard you say, and I would echo that statement tenfold. Is that he's got one of my favorite movesets to watch currently.
Yes.
Him and Takeshita are just
such
a joy.
Ospreay, like.
Yeah, those 3, the Cal's family, like it's pretty ridiculous. But he's great. He had some good stuff here per the usual. It wasn't perfect, but he's still just so good. He's only up from here. Him and like Ospreay and Takeshi, these younger guys.
The future.
It's crazy. Like they're so good, but they've also got so much time. Like Ospreay's only 30. Most guys go to like 40 or something, right?
Yeah.
Like so he's got time. Takeshi's got to be around that. Fletcher's younger than that.
Yeah, all these dudes MJF, in their prime or entering their prime.
Yeah, so it's crazy how good some of these guys are, but we're still going to have so much more time with them.
So now we just got to make room for them with the guys that are way beyond their prime.
Chris Jericho.
Get rid of a few people. But anyways.
Chris Jericho. Swerve looked good as well. Solid ring story with him tweaking his ankle off the apron stomp and then kind of Fletcher targeting that a little bit. And I'm surprised he went with the house call, but I'm fine with that because it's probably my favorite finisher of his, although the JML looks awesome when it connects. I noticed they've renamed it to Big Pressure.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
I noticed that ever since the Takeshita match.
Yeah.
I'll
Big
probably
pressure.
relent eventually.
Yeah.
But I will call it JML as long as it sticks in my brain. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Interesting that Fletcher didn't go with whatever play Callis was trying to run. So I guess we're teasing him following Ospreay out of the Callis family, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going.
That's totally fine. Thunder Rosa interview. She's proud of her performance at Dynasty. Perazo comes in because Rosa mentioned her getting involved and she didn't like it. Deanna didn't like being mentioned. She got shoved. They break apart. They're gonna have a match on Rampage. I'm saying it's great that's on Rampage because I don't care.
Does this mean Deanna's a heel at least? I'm hoping because Thunder Rosa's a face because people love her for whatever reason.
Yeah, for reasons I don't know. Not yet, at least, because I don't think Tiana is like completely unjustified. Like,
I think the problem is Deonna Purrazzo in the Virtuoso gimmick is awesome. But the Virtuoso gimmick only works if she's like being really strongly pushed and dominating technically.
The tricky part is then I
she's
feel
not
like
right now.
There's so many people that work better as a heel because what? Storm's kind of a heel. Peraza works better as a heel. Monet would work better as a heel. Baker.
Deeb kind of either way.
I want Deeb as the heel. I think her being as the heel.
I want everyone as a heel. That's the problem.
I think Hater could be a good babyface because she got really over.
Yep.
I think Storm could be a good babyface if she ditches this stupid gimmick.
Yep.
Rosa, I guess.
Britt's fine as a babyface. She's just less than
Willow. Willow could be main
the best babyface.
Main title. Willow and Stylander could be main title babyfaces if you push Willow farther and
give Stylander
a gimmick.
What's your gimmick?
Like, honestly, I hope she turns heel just to give her some character. Like, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Then we get a recap of Ospreay Danielson.
I like that match,
Ospreay Danielson from Danielson. I think I meant Dynasty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and.
If you didn't hear, we liked that match, and I liked the recap.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah,
it was an alright match.
Yeah. It'll do.
I might watch it again, but I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really decided. Next we have Mina Shirakawa versus Anna Jay. Shirakawa's theme is very like it's a knockoff of some sort of kind of party song. I don't know what it is, but it's like in my head. Just it's a knockoff of something.
My first note is Jack is laughing at Anna Jay early. I don't know what she was doing,
her
but
forearms
something
were really
tickled
bad.
you.
I think it was like they were doing a strike exchange and her just like.
It was the forearm to the chest that looked like it was more like you were trying to like trap a bug without killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
A few knee target moves from Mina. She locks in a figure four, but Jay's able to get to the ropes. Neck breaker over the middle from Jay, and she's looking at Mariah May at ringside. Don't make this a feud. I don't want it. No. Anna Jay's forearms would make Takeshita cry, yes. I wrote. Solid rolling elbow and a back fist from Mina. Gory Brown from Jay for 2, because that's the only move she can do that I don't hate. Mina counters the Queen Star, which we also don't like, into a seatbelt pin with, like, she uses her leg to hook Anna Jay's legs, which I thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets the win. Champagne celebration cut off by an attack from Jay. Storm makes a save.
Oh, yeah, that pinfall was weird looking. It was
cool though.
It was.
Then I wrote all caps Serena Deeb.
Hooray.
Which
some crazy outfit
awesome.
She was wearing.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, me either.
Deeb says to the camera, she looks at the camera saying she could do the old holding the belt trope, but she says the next time she holds it, she'll be champion. I kind of like
sat
that
down right beside it. Right?
I like that acknowledgement. That was kind of a cool way to not do that, but kind of do it.
I think Shirakawa looks like she might be cool, but it's pretty hard to tell when she's wrestling Anna Jay.
I thought like she looked solid, but
I'd like to see more.
I agree because she didn't overly impress me because I thought she looked fine, but the kind
Anna Jay can't sell.
The kind of party gimmick she was doing was like a little like I feel like she should have been a little more serious.
Yeah,
and then
she's small.
I agree. Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. Anna Jay's not the one to impress against. Like I feel like Mariah May ended up getting lucky working off of Aminata because both of them got to look good off of each other.
Yeah, I need more Aminata in my life. Get her on.
She's Dynamite. A perfect TBS champion.
So, and she could be a babyface.
Yeah, I was thinking of her
Deeb on TV. Awesome that she's going straight for Storm, right? Like right to the top of the card.
As she should. Deeb is too good not to use.
And do something with this angle, and I don't know, make Deeb win. I doubt they will, but at least
they won't. But like, I think it has to. At this point, it has to be Hater. I feel
they have to build somebody into a believable challenger, and they have not so far. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing.
I thought it was weird. You pointed out the post match kind of felt like Storm was meant to be a face here, which I don't think she is, but like it's weird.
I feel like she's just blowing in the breeze, and it depends.
Which I don't like.
I'm not a huge fan.
This all gets a slight up for just bringing Deeb back to the flagship.
Agree.
Though.
Great to see her. Thought she sounded solid, not amazing.
I
solid.
liked it because it was just like not doing the trope. I just kind of liked that. You know, I thought that was cool. Willow's TBS Championship celebration is up next. At least we get this instead of swerves. We'll do a reverse of our usual dynamic where you fill in the blanks here. For this little second, they put Caprice Coleman on commentary to rap.
Oh my god, I was cringing, honestly. Like he started out singing and then it turned into a rap during. I don't know, man.
On commentary, it was so weird, and he's gone for the rest of the show. This is all he did.
Because they could have said like he was commentary in Ring of Honor and Willow went through there, right?
Did she?
I don't know.
I don't even think she did.
I did not understand what was going on.
Oh wait, she had the match with Athena.
This whole bit was a weird tone I didn't understand.
Except for like one bit. The other thing I wrote was I hate CEO chants, which explains itself.
Yep.
Willow talked about how in 2020 she was in the crowd supporting the talent. I couldn't tell you. It's like in the PC when they had crowd plants.
Yeah.
Like Wagner was there, Shotzi was there, but you never know until after the fact.
That's right. You don't know who they are until you know who they are.
Like Trick Williams was one of Apollo Crews' Nigerian bodyguards at one point.
Oh, was he?
I had no idea. I just saw that surfacing around. Like, you went from this to NXT champion.
That's funny.
I never.
Spoiler.
I never knew that. Is that a good gym look? I don't know. Willow said she's not a rookie anymore. Are you trying to do it?
No.
I thought.
No.
She said she's not a rookie anymore because tonight she stands here as the face of TBS. Mercedes Monet comes out because I had to hear CEO.
And again, it's the stealing the spotlight. And I think Willow even says this is like the fourth time.
You have to do it every time kind of deal. Yeah. She told Jacksonville to say hello to your CEO. Willow said, it's like the fourth time she's interrupted her. So she has something to say, then say it. I assume that's why she's here. Monet said she's out here to congratulate Willow, and in 32 days at Double or Nothing, you're looking at the new face of TBS. Well, she said the new face and the new TBS champion, which was a confusing turn of phrase for me, because I'm like, when she said the new face of TBS or the new, because the way she said the new face and the new TBS champion, is she just a new face? Is she gonna get
new baby face?
No, I think what if we take it in a different direction? She's gonna go to Natalia's doctor and get a new face. Get a new face.
Hey, Charlotte. She talked to Andrade before he left.
Yeah, yeah. Who's your guy?
Yeah.
Monet asked if Willow attacked her in the dark, and Statlander said it might have been somebody else.
Fake attack. It was nobody.
Statlander. Stokely said we all know it was probably Julia Hart, and I think it was Stokely. It was definitely Stokely.
It was Stoke and Stat.
Stoke and Stat. Willow asked Monet if she thinks Willow intentionally injured her at their New Japan match last year with the strong title thingy. Monet spoke about how she was like, do I blame you for costing me a year of wrestling? And do I blame you for costing me what I love most? Do I blame you for this and that and this?
Because in a fight where we try and hurt each other, you hurt me.
It's like,
so
okay,
stupid.
But my defense here is that like Willow's like Bailey, you know, where Bailey would feel bad about it.
She's Ridge Holland, is what you're saying.
But no.
More timely reference.
Yeah. But like for me, it's in line with her because she's like the positive, happy-go-lucky kind of person. So like she's looking to win matches and like wrestle, but she's not looking
do it
like
the right way.
Yeah, or like not like horribly injure people to where they retire. You know what I mean? Like,
but Monet can't come in as a face and be mad than a fight where you try to hurt people.
Yeah,
as a heel, sure.
I don't think Monet should be mad as a babyface. No, if she's a heel, sure. I think Willow should feel bad. I think to her credit, I think Willow did a good job of conveying that.
She did. Willow was the only thing I understood.
And to me, like
here.
Willow, it makes sense that she would feel bad because she's that kind of character.
Yeah.
But Willow said she would have smiled with that team chip. But then she wondered if she could have been Monet at 100%. She said that title run has an asterisk.
She said it wrong the first time, and then I
just screwed it up, so I can't fault her. She said that this title win doesn't have that, and she wants Monet at 100% double or nothing so that she can show she can beat Monet and why she's TBS champion. Monet told her to enjoy while she can, whatever. Then there was something where like Chris Statlander grabbed her, then she thought it was Willow, so she slapped Willow, and they had to be separated, whatever.
Yeah, and Statlander, again, there was a moment where she was behind Willow and made it seem like, is there a chance that this is happening now? So it looks like they're leaving us a trail to follow here of Stat.
This was a weird thing for many reasons. Like, Caprice Coleman, chief of them all.
And then I thought Stokely and Statlander's tone was weird, too.
A little bit. And then, like, I thought some of the interactions between Monet and Willow were here. They were kind of weird with each other at first, but then I thought, like, through all the weirdness, I thought Willow really scooped things up at the end.
She's
to her
good.
credit. Like, it was really going shakily, and I wasn't liking it, but then Willow ended her speech really strong. Like, I thought her talking about, like, having the asterisk next to her title run and that win, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like her feeling bad about that incident makes sense for her because not only is it she's, like, the nicest person on the planet is her gimmick, right, basically, and also it puts a black mark on her title win and whether she should have had it or not. So I thought she did a really good job of conveying what I think made sense, and like I think she really saved this for me, and I think it showed why she should be pushed more because I think she did really good here in spite of everything.
And pushing her more means she beats healthy Monet.
I think so. I think she should. I'm not saying I think it'll happen, but I think based on what I think should happen, I think she should. Cause
I agree.
I think Willow's been doing really good lately, and I think if she drops the TBS title, I think you push her up because I think she deserves
just finished saying like they don't have strong baby faces, so let's keep building
here we go.
Willow.
Willow's fantastic. So, I think she like deserves some credit for being the strongest part of this for sure.
She did well, and in the rest I was not.
This also made me think Statlander is the attack culprit.
I agree. She attacked Willow, and nobody attacked Monet.
I think she attacked Monet, but I could see that
think
too.
So.
Marvez tries to get a scoop on Jack Perry, and so like each of them walk by and pat him on the shoulder. Matt says things are uncertain right now. Tony Khan's gonna meet with Perry in the ring later.
I noticed they give Marvez the spot where he gets disrespected, not Renee. Like, you know what I mean? They're all walking by him. It's Marvez, you got this one.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a solid little bit, and love Jack Perry.
Yeah, he's kind of interesting right now for sure.
Fellow Jack, I shall support him.
That's right.
I wonder if he's a Jackson.
So we're almost 200 episodes in, and my name still hasn't been used on this show ever. So
I'll get you, buddy.
That's pretty fun.
I will get you, buddy. Oh, that's our 200 special right there.
There it is. My name, dox me.
Yeah. We'll see who pulls up to our mansion. Good luck finding our mansion.
Our palatial penthouse studio.
Yep. You just can't see the other half of the room because the cameras and like we're just recording a small corner of the room because like we have so much wrestling stuff because we're just filthy rich.
I have the most sophisticated zoom lens because the camera
is actually on the other side of the room.
900 meters away.
It's just we don't want to get germs on it, so it's just all the way over there. Right. Like this might look really close, but it's not.
I definitely can't reach out and touch it.
No, I'm not. I don't even. I can't. I can barely see it from here.
And I definitely can't reach out and touch both walls.
I don't know. It's not that small.
Yeah.
It's not small at all.
It's big.
Next, we get the Casino Gauntlet match.
The
where
match
the winner
we didn't know we wanted.
Faces. That's true. Winner faces Roderick Strong for the international title, Double or Nothing.
Nobody knows the rules, even commentary.
I believe this works as a gauntlet. Yeah, they cannot stress enough. The only thing they know is that they don't know who's entering. But what we do know is that it's sudden death.
They don't know who's entering, what the intervals are, how many people there are.
But
it's sudden death.
It's sudden death.
So we were like infinite. It's going to be.
They could not tell you anything.
Infinite people.
But they could tell you 5 times that it was sudden death.
Yep.
So we start off with Switchblade, Jay White, and Dante Martin. This is where I noted I love the Political Gold theme. I love it so much.
You love what? Oh, the Political. Yeah, it's cool.
I love it so much. I listen to it like honestly.
You do. Usually when in between segments when I'm doing production, I hear it bleeding out of your headphones.
Yeah. Or I'm not even kidding. Every time I walk into school, I blast it.
Although this time it was you laughing at somebody who made a Jericho as Hulk Hogan thing. That was what was the last little bit of production I was doing.
But before we were reviewing Dynamite, I saw this one post where someone made like a full Titantron of like the Hulk Hogan graphic and logo with Jericho's name, and then like videos of Jericho and with the Real American song, and it's really funny. Yeah, I don't know how Jericho. I guess because they're both washed up old guys who were wrestling too long.
Yeah,
but it was really funny.
We'll post a link in the description. No, we won't. Just kidding.
I don't know how to do that.
No way.
But like, also I was listening to a Beck song. We love Beck, especially for summer.
Love Beck.
Beck is fantastic.
Beck is one of my summer
Anyways,
guys.
Political Gold theme is fantastic. And I also know the thing I actually did note was that they need to ditch the pink belts. It bothered me that they still had them here.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back to the black ones. I don't think everyone needs custom trios belts because we had the standard ones for Death Triangle and Elite.
Only if you can have a long run and actually defend it a lot.
The Acclaim did one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
But like House of Black had
why I qualified
unique ones. I wish House of Black had a longer run because they A, defended on Dynamite, and B, actually did something with it. Like the open house was really cool. I remember the lighting they had around the ring. That was really cool.
It was cool. And then they just ditched it, basically.
No, they gave them to the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Anyways, heavy chops from White as usual. White throws Dante over the ropes with an exploder suplex. Penta's next. He's not blue. Sling blade to White. Super kick to Dante from Penta. Kyle O'Reilly enters next. Haircut. So his hair is back to normal.
Yeah, he's all clean cut now.
He's looking like the Kyle O'Reilly of old.
The money he got from being in that match, he's not living in his car anymore, and he got to have a shower and a haircut.
Oh, poor Kyle.
It's great.
Poor Kyle.
We moved out of the woods, the cabin in the woods with Von
He
Wagner.
was living. It's okay. Not a bad job. I was gonna say false imprisonment, but that's not good.
He merrimaned it. Allegedly.
That's horrible. Kyle O'Reilly locks Dante in an armbar. Sorry, he juged him.
Our favorite thing is that Taz. That's like
Excalibur.
Taz.
That's Excalibur's thing.
Oh yeah, Jujikatami.
He's getting juged.
He's getting juged.
I thought it was cool. White tried to interrupt it, so he got locked in a knee bar, which is pretty cool.
Champagne super knee bar?
No. Ospreay enters next, so we know who wins.
Very true. I wonder.
If it was a babyface champion, you could have made a case for Switchblade, because since it's sudden death and Ospreay doesn't have
or
to
Lance Arch. Never mind.
They don't know who's coming when it's Archer coming out. Handspring double Pele kick from Ospreay to Penta and Dante. There's a stand up between Ospreay and White, which I thought was cool, a nod to their history, which I really liked.
They went into like these guys.
So I like that. They kind of explained it to those who don't know, so that was cool. Both holders of the IWGP World Title, and I was saying to you, it's interesting how many of those former champions have ended up in AEW now. Because like even Okada's one, like Okada, Mox, Ibushi, Ospreay.
Oh my God, Ibushi.
I know.
Did he retire
him and White? Because like only other ones that haven't been there are Naito, Sanada, and Takagi.
Right.
I was saying to you, I forgot
Takagi.
I forgot Shingo had it. He didn't have a long run. Neither did Ospreay either, because I think Ospreay vacated it, and then Shingo got it. Anywho, they had kind of a handshake moment, but then White gouges the eyes and fires off some chops because he's a prick.
Thank God he's back to being a prick.
Lance Archer enters next. Pretty stiff for him to Ospreay. Actually,
good, man.
He did look good in this
for the whole. Like right after his entrance, that whole run, he looked like a beast.
Yeah, so I'm starting to think this is where you use him.
Yeah.
Because like when he had the solo match against Cassie or something, I was like.
What was he had some Extreme Rules match or whatever that we liked.
Texas Death with Mox,
I think that's what it was.
Because he had one, or I think he had one with Mox and with Archer. But I think
they dust
the one with
him
Mox
off, right? And then they put him back on the shelf.
The one with Mox was on Dynamite, so that's one we saw. But yeah, no, he
looked good here.
He chokes him Dante onto White with both grips. He does that thing where so he's got like White in like a reverse grip, so he's like kind of like standing up but like leaned over the mat, and so he'd like slam Dante on him. So I thought it was cool. I think Luchasaurus used to do that.
Yeah. Forgot about him too.
Because Christian's died.
I guess.
So
miss him.
I won't do that.
He gave his gimmick to Drew McIntyre and just disappeared.
I won't pronounce him.
What an amazing! I was thinking Drew McIntyre's.
I was thinking we can't pronounce Christian dead here.
Best gimmick in the world. Hey Drew, go out there and just tell the truth about everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
amazing.
He's basically CM Punking CM Punk.
He's awesome.
Archer's Ospreay out for the blackout. He throws him on a pile of guys on the outside, which I thought was cool, but I'm like, wouldn't you want to hit him with your finisher?
Not.
Because
get rid of him
instead of letting Commander come in and Hurricane Rana you through the tables, which happens next, because it's sudden death.
Yes. Is it? How do you know? Just a hunch?
It's just like
a hunch.
It's one of those things where like they kind of imply it, you know what I mean? So it's,
they infer it.
It's for the diehard fans, so you have to
they imply it and you infer it.
Yeah, I inferred. It's one of those things for the diehard fans that you really gotta like read between the lines and just like really pick up on the subtle nuance. I was gonna say the subtle nuances. Yeah. So it's really tough to get out, and that's why we're here for you. We're here to tell you, is this match sudden death? Is this one not? Like you gotta know. You know what I mean? So this one was
even though we know our listeners are like the cream of the crop for
we might be picking up new people who
fans.
Don't know what sudden death matches are like. Right. So you never know really. So yeah, Command entered and put Archer through tables. It's always like I find it a lot of times double table spots where there's like two. One of them never really breaks. Or like when Jeff Hardy will put people through 2 ladders or 2 tables, he only breaks one. It's whichever one he puts more weight on really. There's an exchange between Ospreay and Commander. Ends in a wild, like really fast tilt-a-whirl DDT from Commander for 2.
Looked awesome.
White broke the pin and floors Commander with the Uranagi for 2. White does it better than anyone else.
It looked great.
His Uranagi is fantastic. I'll say that every time he does it because it looks fantastic every time.
And just the smack on the mat is great.
And the way he turns and like actually like slams them down hard is awesome. Ospreay counters a Blade Runner, flipping into a sit-up powerbomb for a near fall. Lethal enters, which he just randomly pops up, but that's okay because I'd rather have him in here than Archer. I like some Lethal.
I like Lethal in ring just fine.
Lightning quick hip toss cartwheel dropkick to Ospreay. Like he did it really fast. It looked awesome. That was weird. And then fast into a lethal combination on Dante, so that was sweet. Lethal injection catches Penta. A really, really great exchange between Kyle O'Reilly and Ospreay.
It was
short but super fast and back and forth. And I've seen a lot of people saying, and I would agree, let's just get a TV match between these two.
Yep.
Book it next week. I don't care. Just say they cross paths in this. Do it. Yep. I don't care. Even like say Ospreay will put his title shot on the line.
Sure.
Because he's not gonna lose. So do it. Hidden Blade for 2. Ospreay hesitates on a Tiger Driver 91 to Kyle O'Reilly, and so he gets juged for his troubles.
Juge.
I wrote he put him in an armbar, but we know what that means.
Jujikatami.
It's a Jujikatami. I need to look up Jujikatami. Finish comes when Commander hits Kyle O'Reilly with his rope box shooting star, and Ospreay gets at the armbar in time for a 2 count, and I really liked it. Ospreay breaks the pin, hit it, smashing with a hidden blade.
It looked good.
He picks up the win himself.
Cool win. Cool finish. I thought this was a really fun match.
I really liked it.
Despite like the oddness of the rules and commentary,
I think
not
it's
even knowing
excusable when it's like this enjoyable.
Everybody got a bit of a showcase, and I felt like just enough people got involved, right? I don't want like 3 or 4 more people to drag this out. I thought Archer looks like a beast. Ospreay, O'Reilly had really good chemistry in their brief little moment together. And yes, you knew Ospreay was winning once you saw the rest of the field, but I was entertained by this nonetheless. And Roderick Strong, Will Ospreay should be awesome.
That could be killer.
So I thought this was a fun match that kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. It was random. The rules are very unclear sometimes, aside from sudden death. That was the rule, by the way.
It was.
I thought it turned out to be a really fun match. The line was random, but we had some gems in here. Some of my favorites are in here, like they have in here Ospreay, Switchblade, Penta, and O'Reilly. Love them all. And then like Lethal is always quality. Commander and Dante are super athletic and entertaining. I thought even Archer was really good in doses here.
Yep.
I thought the finish was inventive, using the hidden blade as a pin breakup. It was kind of like what we saw in the match with DIY the other week. But it's still cool. I really like that. It's like breaking up the pin with a purpose and not just stealing the pin.
It's cool. I like the finish.
It was really nice. The interaction between White and Ospreay was really cool. The exchange between Ospreay and O'Reilly was awesome. And I like this, not even just that it was like random fun, but also got Ospreay to interact with a couple different people in one shot. So I thought that was kind of cool, getting him to like interact with more of the roster. They need to have a singles match, Ospreay and O'Reilly, before or after Ospreay wins the title. Do an open challenge. I don't care. Going for Roddy's belt does seem kind of beneath Ospreay, but at the same time, he could make that title feel big. If Cassidy could elevate it, Ospreay would do wonders for that belt. So I'm here for it.
Yeah,
if it gets Ospreay with like some even bi-weekly title defenses, I'm here for it.
Do you think he's winning for sure? I have this weird feeling he might not. I don't know how we get there.
I could see Callis inadvertently costing him, but I feel like I'm working on the assumption that he won't lose yet. So maybe, hear me out.
No. Oh. Go ahead.
They turn on him. He wins the title. They turn on him. You give him Takeshita the belt off of Ospreay. So Takeshita gets a belt, and Ospreay splits for them. Win-win. Takeshita's the first to beat Ospreay.
There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah. We're all about supporting Takeshita here.
We are.
Anyways, I think he could elevate that belt, pun intended. Theme song. Yeah, I know you don't get it, so I have to explain it to you every time.
No.
Especially if he just happened to feel like doing open challenges. I may or may not enjoy it. I hope we could work out to Ospreay versus Adam Cole somehow when he is well. That would go hard. Also, I rewatched I think twice this week or something, at least once. Cole Gargano, the first one.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. It's the 2 or 3 Falls one.
Not Andrade Gargano?
No, that one's not as good.
Wow.
That's not as good. Wow. I the more I rewatch it, because it's easy to find on YouTube. I don't have to log in the network or whatever. Cole Gargano, the first one, might be one of my favorite matches of all time. I think it's off the top of my hand as we're doing a digression. It's Ospreay Omega, not in any particular order, but that one would be first. Ospreay Omega, Swerve Hangman Texas Death, Ospreay Danielson, Cole Gargano 1. Probably that North American ladder match. And that's since it's off the top of my head, I'm not going to go any further because that would be too much of a digression.
Right.
But that's off
good
the top
matches
of my
all.
head.
Go watch them.
Yeah. We good gold days.
Oh yeah, we can get back into that. Summertime. Feels like a summertime chore.
And the network is working, so
yes.
I think we specified last time, but we'll keep it to the PLEs, the takeovers.
So. I think that makes sense.
Anyways, next we hear from Chris Jericho.
I have thoughts. I
know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so he claimed FTW means for the world because this is for all of you.
Just pandering.
He claimed they won all this together. Yeah, I think TJR kind of agreed with me. He said Terry Funk told him years ago that it was his responsibility to teach the younger generation. And, I mean, I heard Terry Funk was kind of out of his mind in the later days of his life.
Probably.
So, clearly he
Middle-aged
was,
and crazy.
if he actually said that. Jericho said that's what he's doing. He said Hook was a great champion and a tough competitor. He said there's still certain things he needs to learn, like when to stay down. He needs to move on from the dead weight, which is Taz and Shibata. He told Hook to listen to him. He was forced to hit Hook with a baseball bat. He claimed so many stars worked with him and became bigger stars in the Jericho Vortex. No. Big Bill comes out because he heard big stars. And he's like, oh, there's my cue.
That's it.
Here's the word big.
Yeah.
That's basically like calling him out.
It's like Beetlejuice. Oh, you don't get that reference. You say
I know what you're talking about.
You say it 3 times.
I'm
appears.
not a buffoon.
That's just part of the zeitgeist, like you know what it is without watching it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big Bill confronted Jericho, saying he's been in the back listening to him, and he needs the guidance of the learning tree. He said he's the Socrates of professional wrestling, who's always willing to give advice, lend a hand, and take a less established guy and build them up with Jericho. I'm sure that's what he thinks. I'm sure that's what he thinks.
Yeah.
Bill basically says he's perfect he's best fit for the learning tree. Jericho's gonna watch him. Blah blah blah. New Fozzy track for Jericho's theme sounds lame. The learning tree moniker is stupid. His theme also starts with that, which is reminiscent of a Def Rebel theme for WWE.
Yeah. Super subtle.
And this is not a reinvention for Jericho. It's either a bad reinvention or just him being old.
Okay, so what if?
Nope. No.
What if Jericho is actually a babyface?
No, he's not.
And is honestly doing what he thinks is best for Hook. Like, Hook needs to lose his title to unlock something. He needs to get away from these other people and do it on his own. What if the part we assume is Jericho being insincere is actually Jericho being sincere?
That's too meta.
What if it is meta and it's like they know the fans, how they feel about Jericho and his reputation for not helping younger talent? Are they intentionally hitting that nerve?
Okay, but here's the counter to that. I don't care. I hate him.
To be honest, though, to go against probably my babyface thing, commentary are killing the first possibility because they're I get that Taz is disgusted by Jericho because he just beat the crap out of his son.
Taz does a good job at being
but Shivani's joining in too.
Yeah,
being like, oh, this guy. So
that however, that. commentary heels.
What if that's so that it's all the more surprising when we learn that Jericho is actually a babyface and he does unlock Hook and Hook becomes some bigger champion?
Stop praising Jericho. Stop it.
Stop
it. Stop.
So
no, we're not condoning this behavior here.
Clearly I've thought too much about this,
Get
but
out.
I have to admit I'm slightly interested.
No, you're not. Get out. See. I'll figure this out on my own. Just go home.
You'll figure out all the
I don't care. Okay. I'll spend the whole night doing it.
I don't want to be interested, but maybe I'm
not interested. I think the argument can be made he's like in an ironic heel or something. But like just every praise I hear from Jericho to himself or from Cass, I called him Cass for some reason, is just so wrong and it's removed from reality. I hate it just feels so self-indulgent. It's like I don't think he's that self-aware enough. Or like even if it is, I still want him to go away. I don't care what he's doing.
But I think if he is a heel and he's doing the whole I help everybody, they are aware of it. I think. Or at least they're aware of people's perception. They might not. I just don't think this is
really much of a reinvention. It's just him giving advice to other people. I think it's a crappy attempt at a reinvention. And I don't care I just don't want him to be here.
I'm staying slightly open to it, like 12%.
You're fighting valiantly to give him something, which is fair. And you probably have more of a connection to Jericho than I do.
I do. I love him since day one.
I just can't with him anymore. It's really gotten to that point, and I just don't want to hear. And no offense to him, but Big Cass is not a money inclusion for this. And I'm
a little intrigued as to why Jericho isn't willing to take on. Like he's like, I'll keep my eye on you. Why?
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Why?
If you're a top guy in AEW, are you taking Big Bill in your faction?
If my whole thing is I get the best out of people and help them and I'm a babyface, yes.
So then I guess he's not.
I don't know. Anyways, we'll see.
If this is Jericho starting his third separate faction in AEW, so my God, I will walk away. I will stop watching. If he starts another faction that goes
just like you'll not watch the rest of the show if he wins the Beats Hook?
Yeah. I'll follow through next time.
Good follow through. You would have missed Danielson, and
that's true.
That's funny.
That is true.
You just never see it.
I like the guy who fell down the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I swear to God, you can't. I don't care if you can't tell me you want another Jericho faction.
I don't.
You cannot tell me in any sincerity you want.
Curious what they're trying to do. That's it.
I do. I swear to God, if there's another Jericho faction, curiosity. I will start watching NXT if he busts out another faction.
You should.
I swear to God, if he does it again.
Now that it's a third brand.
I just the
third brand era.
To go on a bit of a side rant, I guess, because I just mentioned I was watching that one match. Watching NXT full time just hurts my soul a little because
NXT
just
Black and Gold was the best damn thing wrestling had done.
I saw someone say NXT 2017 2019 was the best promotion ever. It's hard to argue.
It was a super indie. It was amazing.
Black and Gold NXT is truly one of those things I'll always be nostalgic for. That'll always be special to me. There's so many memories I associate with that. The Ciampa Gargano feud was era defining. Cole Gargano had some amazing matches.
Even though I don't think WWE's intentions were noble, I think they were literally let's snap up all the indie talent and stick them down there so nobody else can sign them.
I don't care.
It ended up being amazing.
NXT, even though I'll admit, they did recover from the depths of 2.0 because 2.0 was horrible.
Yes.
It genuinely hurt me.
Yes.
Because I haven't come back.
They're trying to find that sweet spot of developmental plus.
And I understand what they're doing, but it's because we came from.
I know.
The peak of time, the good old days.
Yep.
I just can't. It's never gonna be what I want it to be again. And it's just every time I look at it, I'm just you could be so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it hurts me a little bit. But I'll do it, Jericho. So help me God. If you actually, we'll see what the faction is. But if Sammy Guevara is in this faction,
should be.
So help me God.
Of course.
And if Sammy Guevara is in this faction, I'm actually done. I will do my best to keep it on my mind for your sake.
Thanks.
But if Sammy Guevara, mark my words, if Sammy Guevara is in this faction, I will crap on it at every turn with no relent.
I believe that.
He better not be here.
You'll follow through on that one.
I will follow through on that one. Because honestly, partially for his sake, because he put him back in the Callis family. I don't care if he just randomly rocks up again. Just do that.
I don't know.
Do it.
Moving on from Jericho.
Speaking of which, Cal's family interview. He mentioned Ospreay not doing the Tiger Driver and saying like Ospreay's like that move has to go because like he can't do that to Danielson of his neck injury. Then you mentioned like he can't do the Fletcher because Fletcher's had a history of neck injuries.
Yeah.
And Cal's was like I don't care if he's had 5 broken necks or something like that. Just Cal's being callous. He said he had to go to the main event to watch Hobbs, but Will is gonna win the title at the pay per view. And what I liked was I kind of skipped over, but Fletcher was like, "Who cares? He won the match." And then Cal was like,
yeah.
"You can't really be talking about winning matches."
So
and I thought that was
with
like
Fletcher too. Yeah,
I thought this was a really good little bit because I thought it further develops Ospreay's impending separation from the Cal's family. Sets up Fletcher following suit. I think using the Tiger Driver or the usage of it as the crux for this issue is kind of interesting for me, and I kind of like it because it makes sense that like Ospreay's kind of conscious about it after like almost killing someone he said he idolized,
right.
And Cal's is just like, I don't care, do it anyway. Yes. So I do kind of like the like if using the Danielson match to further this is kind of what you're doing. I do kind of dig that.
Yeah, it's getting those fractures in the Cal's.
Cal's was an absolute prick here, and I really loved it. I thought like his diss to Fletcher was really mean, and I liked it. And you said a similar thing to what I'm about to say, and so I know you'll agree. So I was saying I could see us getting Ospreay and Fletcher versus Hobbs and Takeshi in some sort of wacky tag match down the line, like maybe a la that bunkhouse brawl, and then you reunite United Empire when Davis comes back, and we run that for a little while.
Yeah,
you can even go trios.
I think that's because Davis has to be soon, and then we get that group back. What was it?
Ospreay and Aussie Open, United Empire. I just said it.
We get them back. Or you
together. Go United Empire Gold.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I think that could be what happens, and that's fine.
Yeah, good little segment though.
And also, Callis said something early in the show about like I'm always looking for new talent, and I mean he might have to when people leave, right? So
yeah, I'd be interested to see who he picks when Ospreay and Fletcher leave. And the tricky part is that you got a lot to live up to because the Callis family, I think they really haven't missed with any of their selections. I thought even when Guevara was there, I thought he was a good choice to have.
Yeah.
And like Hobbs isn't like, I think Hobbs is a really good big man. He's not my preferred style in ring, but I think he's a really good big man. So I think he's still a good choice. And Takeshita is obviously Takeshita's the golden goose. Okay, not Ospreay. It's Takeshita. But anyways, they have to really be careful, in my opinion, of who they pick.
Yeah.
Because I think they've if I'd be really selective personally.
Me too.
Next we get Moxley versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. German suplex from Mox. Hobbs powers through, comes back with an exploder suplex. Hobbs misses the corner splash, and he went hard into the turnbuckles. This is where he sold his knee, so I'm wondering, because I heard he picked up a legitimate knee injury, so I'm wondering if this is where it picked up.
Might explain why this match sucked.
Suicide dive. I wrote from Hobbs. I meant from Mox. A lot of punches in the corner and paradigm shift from Mox for 2. Mox makes Hobbs pass out a sleeper. Takeshita seems to challenge Mox.
Yeah.
In his pirate pants.
I like both of these guys. I thought this match was rough. I thought it was
fine, but it was definitely boring for me.
It was 11 minutes.
Especially for the IWGP title. That's like a big title.
Couple minutes of crowd brawling where the ref doesn't seem to remember how to count. 3 or 4 minutes of commercials.
I feel like Hobbs did get injured.
I hope so, because when you said that, I was like, oh, phew, because why was this match so bad?
Yeah, this was boring.
I thought I put it on my list because it was super disappointing. And it's Moxley.
Moxley doesn't disappoint.
I didn't think this was good at all. And
that's fair.
I am looking forward to Takeshi the Mox, obviously. That's
yeah. I mean, there's no way it happens, but if Takeshi got that belt, I would cry tears of joy.
Yeah. Bad match. Cool post-match Takeshi deciding.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be said again, but I love Takeshi to pieces.
Oh my God. Yes, you have said that. You've mentioned that.
He's special to me. I don't think we'd have the most fruitful conversation given the language barrier, but I'd love to meet Takeshi just because to tell him how much
he could borrow Shibata's Google Translate.
Exactly. Just to tell him how much.
See that segue?
Boom. Katsuyori Shibata interview. Renee gets this one. Renee gets the fun one.
Yes, that's right.
He was doing it with the Google Translate again, which it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I'll admit.
I still enjoy it, especially because the last line is always something personal.
Renee. I like him complimenting Renee. It makes me chuckle. He's challenging Jericho for the FTW title next week. FTW rules. It still makes me laugh. I hate that Jericho's gonna beat him next week because I think Shibata's great and I don't want
Shibata's cool.
Jericho to beat him. That's lame. I doubt it. But I think it'd be kind of interesting if Mox came for him because he's eyeing up Renee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll happen, but I think it'd be interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, Mox could do it because he's neither baby face nor heel.
Also, you telling me you don't want Mox versus Shibata? Come on.
I do.
Then we hear from Jack Perry. This is how we're ending the show. he came out to no music, which is good because no more Beethoven. I swear to
God,
God,
we can't do that again.
If we're Beethovening again,
pay for Justin Timberlake's "Cry Me a River." Done.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't even care what it sounds like. Do it. I don't care.
It's pop, obviously. Like
I don't care. Do it. I think that'll be hilarious.
It would.
We get "Cry Me a River"
I think it was
chants,
Timberlake. Now
which
I have to fact check myself.
Okay. We get like "Oh, cry me a river." To Jack White, 7 Nation Army, right? Yo, if y'all ain't listening to the White Stripes, respect it.
Nailed it.
Respect the White Stripes. And
there's an Ella Fitzgerald song, "Cry Me a River" too. That'd be funny.
I gotta listen to this
as a wrestling entrance
to see what works better.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he said he's had some of the best nights of his entire life right here in Jacksonville. He said tonight they have business to handle, so he calls out Tony Khan, who comes out.
Tony Khan's dumb, obviously.
Tony Khan's a doof. Perry claimed in the last 5 years, AEW has gone to change the world. He admitted they've had ups and downs, and they haven't always seen eye to eye, but he swears to God all he's ever wanted is what's best for AEW. He asked Tony to shake his hand and reinstate him. They shake hands, they hug. Jack Perry does his
face again.
Jack Perry does his stupid little face
like he's got his head resting on TK's shoulder.
So like he's hugging, he's just like,
and he's facing the camera, and it's just perfect. Again.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm starting to like. This is like a guns level turnaround for Jack Perry.
It's a renaissance
for heel Jack Perry, at least. Because I always liked Jungle Boy, but heel Jack Perry kind of sucked.
It did. In the brief taste we got, I mean, we didn't get a
Jack
lot,
Perry.
Yeah.
This is already just like in 2 facial expressions. This has been better than anything he's ever done.
Absolutely.
So that's something. He hit Tony in the ribs with a microphone. The Bucks and Okada come down and like they're kind of like, what the hell? But then Okada does like the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. Tony Khan driver to the man himself. Then the referees and whatnot come to check on him. We even get an appearance by Daddy Khan.
Yeah, we do. He's there.
Don't know how to say his first name, so I'm gonna go with Daddy Khan.
Fair.
Then we get like the Elite posing on the stage. Matt, thanks Jacksonville. They had a great show. You know, the EVP spiel, and they're gonna change the world, which seems to be their new thing.
I thought
the new
Perry
Elite is wild.
Perry was really good. Facial expression was awesome.
It's so funny.
It's just like when the mask got pulled off, same level of coolness. Punk has leveled up Jack Perry, and that amuses me because that would not be his goal. And I don't want
he'll take credit for it, but like it wasn't his goal. We know.
I don't want TK getting involved in storylines, if ever, very rarely.
I mean, I think this works.
But I have to admit, I did enjoy this. And I think they're trying to make sure.
I think this was good, like establishing the new elite.
There's a delineation between the EVPs and the owner. They are not.
Yeah, that, and then
page.
I think it's also did a good job. This is establishing this is the elite now.
Because last week, was it last week? Remember the EVPs were kind of like gorilla with Tony.
Yeah, like cutting off FTR, or like he was there at least. You know what I mean?
So now it's like there's.
It's just I don't know how you work it out with the
separation of the power structure. Yeah, I don't know either, but no, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, solid promo from Perry. He's definitely a lot more over since everything that's happened, and so he's definitely benefited from that footage, which is awesome. Yep. I'll admit it does have me interested in whatever he's going to be doing, especially being affiliated with the Elite. I think it's interesting. He was kind of baby facing with his promo, but I feel like that was just to like kind of lull TK in, which he did successfully.
And then once the handshake in, it's like
his
that's
stupid
binding.
Little smile.
So I'm back in, and
his stupid little smile is awesome. Tony Khan also took a solid Meltzer driver, and then he had a neck brace at the NFL draft, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the turnout from this will be. Just this new form of the Elite is pretty crazy to look at compared to what we had. We went from like Cody, Hangman, Bucks, Omega to Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry. That's crazy.
Interesting.
So it's interesting. We just need to add Monet as the first female member, and this new form is complete.
Yeah. So overall, other than like I said, annoyed by Swerve's role on this show.
But I think it's somewhat excusable.
I hope they compensate for that. Because he was second fiddle here to the Bucks, and I don't like that.
I did like that segment though.
I would have preferred a segment acknowledging his accomplishment, but I guess we're.
I think the best of both worlds would have been before his match. You have a package highlighting his win and highlighting the history, and then you pay it off with the celebration on Collision. You know, so at least like you can set it up.
Yeah.
So I think like it's not the worst thing ever, but I think they could have done better.
The Gauntlet Swerve Fletcher match were the only things in ring that I thought were good, and the Hobbs Mox I thought was not good. Final segment was good. Jericho stuff caught my interest a tiny bit. Fine show, nothing special coming off an amazing pay-per-view. I went B-.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, the first match was really was good. The Gauntlet was probably my favorite match. I think it was really strong. I thought the ending segment was surprisingly good, and I think like that's what's really interesting to me. Not Jericho. I think this new Elite is really interesting. I think because the Bucks character, I remember you started off hating it.
Yeah.
I think they've worked it out. I think they've worked out the kinks.
They've dialed back the goofiness.
Yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but like it's still like I like this like visibly different Bucks, and they're seeming to figure it out. And then heel Okada is really good.
Really good.
Jack Perry is peak Jack Perry.
Yep.
So that's good. Shibata amused me a little bit. I thought the Trent segment was pretty solid actually, because like his reasoning was good, and like I like that one. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but like it didn't overstay its welcome. Like it was short and it wasn't like a lot, but it didn't like.
It's just low card feud, so I struggle a bit.
But at least like it's like you got stuff up and down the card.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So overall, yeah, like the women's match and the main event were meh. So I would say B-. Not an amazing show, but solid. And I'll give it like a slight up for Daly's Place.
Nice. All right, so that's going to wrap up our Dynamite review. We'll take a little break from analysis and do a little bit of trivia in a segment that we call Off the Top of His Head. Okay, so it's random trivia from all over the place, and we definitely didn't just screw this up and have to redo it. So let's see if we can get it right this time. So that was too bad. Those 15 questions were good, and now they're lost in the ether.
At least it's like
Never
we
to
have
be
a
seen
fail-safe kind of.
I do. I have a backup plan. So here we go. Who defeated Hulk Hogan to become double champion?
Ultimate Warrior.
Is that correct?
It would have to be the WrestleMania 6.
It is
I don't know what else you could refer to with that.
Yeah, so it was Ultimate Warrior, and I want to hit my ding button, but I got to let an ad play here for a second, so it's delayed. There it is. Which of these never won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? Lesnar, Vader, Styles, Omega, Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Yes.
Because
explain. Good.
He's won the World Heavyweight title,
which
even they count as a separate lineage. So that's an interesting technicality. I do respect that question because
I thought you might.
That was one that could trip up a lot of people.
Yes.
Because like my first thought was, wait, they've all held it, but then I'm like,
and it's
no, because there's technically a difference.
So even though people missed the first 15 because I wasn't recording it, this is the first one that has a little clarification explanation.
I do kind of like that. That's a good question, actually.
It is a good. It's kind of like a trick question almost.
It is, but like not like one that feels like cheating. It's like you just gotta know.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So next one, who never wrestled in NXT UK?
Okay.
Gunther.
Oh yeah, Gunther.
Drew McIntyre, Balor, Ripley, Storm.
McIntyre.
Correct.
Because Balor, remember he was at the first takeover and he beat Devlin?
Technically, Gunther never did. Well,
that would be a dirty trick question.
Yeah, they did actually say Gunther / Walter.
Okay, so that's right. Like, because remember the first takeover and Balor made a surprise appearance and he beat Devlin? So technically he counts.
Which promotion was founded by Mitsuharu Misawa?
Oh, that's Noah, isn't it?
Wow, it is Noah.
I watched a video. I watched Cultaholics thing on the Rise and Fall. I think it was All Japan that he was big in, right?
Yep.
So then he founded Noah out of that.
Smart. Who has never won the G1?
Okay.
Nakamura, Omega, Ibushi, Muto, Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Correct.
Because I know for a fact that Omega's I think one of 3 Gaijin to make it to the final. I think it's Carl Anderson.
He had one amazing year.
And then I know Omega is the only Gaijin to win, so that basically eliminates Ospreay.
Easy one. Which superstar had the nickname The Chosen One in WWE?
McIntyre.
Correct.
See, that's bad because I think of Juice Robinson's theme, which is called Chosen One.
What show did Kenny Omega beat Jon Moxley to win the AEW World Championship?
Winter's Coming.
Correct.
I remember that.
Any idea the date and year?
December 2nd, 2020.
Wow, that is correct. That is crazy. Do you know what number Dynamite that was?
No.
You don't know anything.
That's bull.
61. You say you know wrestling.
60. Okay.
Who never won a Royal Rumble match twice?
Okay.
Batista, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Edge, Triple H.
The Rock.
Correct. I like you let me get all the options in.
I was like, because I was 90% sure it's The Rock, but I had to make sure, you know, because I know he won the 2000. And I was and I remember he came back in 2013, won the title, but I was like, no, he didn't win another Rumble.
Yeah. Who has the most 5-star or higher matches according to Meltzer in history?
It should be Ospreay by now, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
30,
I think it used to be
37.
It used to be Misawa.
That's crazy. Which of these is the highest rated wrestling match in history according to Meltzer?
Okay.
Ready? Omega Okada Dominion 18.
Is that the Two Three Falls?
I don't know. 2018, whatever that was.
That's not.
Omega Ospreay Wrestle Kingdom 17. Omega Ospreay Forbidden Door.
I know it's not that, but like
Naito Ospreay G1 2023. Naito Okada Wrestle Kingdom Day 2
I feel like it has to be Omega Okada.
From Dominion?
It has to be. Honestly, that came in a time where I wasn't really watching
I watched
outside of, so I think I need to watch that at some point.
Especially now that you're a little more open to Okada. Although heel Okada, I like. This heel Okada is awesome.
Yeah, no, but like I would, now that I'm actually like up on that kind of wrestling, I would definitely, so maybe I'll check that out, because that would have to be the Two Three Falls match then, the one that Omega actually won.
It would have probably. To be. Which of these women's matches did Meltzer give 5.5 stars?
Okay.
Interesting. Oof. Haya Shishida.
Oh, God.
Versus Syuri in Stardom 2021.
Oh.
Ripley Flair Mania 39 Night 1.
Okay. I honestly thought that would be there.
Lynch Flair Evolution 18. Aja Kong Manami Toyota. AJW Big Egg Universe. That's some sound.
I know they have so many weird names.
1994. Watanabe Miyu Yamashita Tokyo Joshi Pro Grand Princess.
I'm picking Ripley Flair because I don't know what else to pick.
It is not Ripley Flair.
It's one of the Japanese ones.
No!
It is which one?
I don't know. Aja Kong.
Just say A, C, D, or E.
Aja Kong.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is the first one. Haya Shishida and Syuri.
I was never gonna tell between those.
In 2021. No. Who had the longest losing streak in WWE history?
Kurt Hawkins.
Obviously. That's
now
easy.
he's TNA tag champ.
They even have the graphic of like a tally marks of all his losses.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's right, how many they put there. But anyways, I don't want to count them right now. Who was not a Bullet Club leader?
Okay.
Omega, White, Styles, Rhodes, Finlay.
Rhodes.
Correct.
Which is a weird one, but
that is not Finlay.
You'd think he was, but he was like Cody was big when Omega was the leader.
Right.
So and they had the kind of power struggle there, but technically Omega was always the leader.
Which championship has Nick Aldis/Magnus never held? That's fun.
Okay.
NWA World Championship, IWGP Tag Team Championship, TNA X Division Championship, TNA World Heavyweight Championship, GHC, don't know, Tag Team Championship.
That's Pro Wrestling Noah. Because it's like, you know how New Japan does IWGP?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I would guess the X Division.
Correct.
I know Doug Williams. Did he have X Division or something? I think he did.
I love Doug Williams.
Or he had the Legends title at least.
He was awesome. Last question. Who won? What does WON stand for?
Wrestling Observer Newsletter. It's
there
Meltzer.
You go. Best Booker Award 2023.
I feel like it's Triple H.
It is.
Yeah.
Very good.
I didn't think it was something.
All right. Well, you did actually 30 questions of trivia, but the universe will only know you ever did 15.
Let the record show.
That's fun. I'm too bad we wasted one of them. That's a nice random all over the place trivia. But now we'll shift gears back to more wrestling talk where we sort of notable stuff, anything we watched this week. We call it Highspots and Restholds. Okay, do you have anything from Raw? McIntyre's promo I saw. It was fun.
I did like I don't like this is kind of off the cuff, but I did kind of like Gable's bit where he was like kind of ridiculing Alpha Academy and going on about how like that was supposed to be his moment and Samuel he took away from him. Then he was like kind of making them pledge allegiance to like you're gonna help me win the title.
Yeah.
And like Otis kind of like regretfully did. So he also clowned on or like crapped on Maxine, so that's good.
That makes sense
because she sucks.
Yeah, and Drew, I forget what Drew is, who he was ripping this week.
Sheamus, remember he said burger after burger after burger
instead of banger after banger.
That was really funny.
After
that
burger.
was really funny.
Good for Sheamus having a sense of humor. He doesn't care, like whatever.
And I think coming from McIntyre, it's good because, as we are told many times, they were best friends.
And McIntyre is jacked to the gills 24/7. So if anyone can critique anyone's body, it's Drew McIntyre.
It's Drew McIntyre, the walking human action
pretty
figure.
impressive.
Yeah. And Becky Lynch won a battle royal for the vacant title because Ripley vacated. That's fine. That's more so notable.
That feels really lazy to me.
It does.
Right?
It is. I think I've seen people saying that too. There's
and
been,
I didn't
Hulk
see
Hogan
it, but I heard
I don't get it.
That it was Lynch. Who else was possible to win?
Baszler.
Belair, was she in there?
No. Baszler.
And then it was like all tag teams, basically.
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
There was 2 tag teams. There was, actually, if you count Dupree and Ivy Niles, the tag team, there's them, Lorraine Hartwell, and then the Ravers. The Ravers.
Yeah, they were in there.
Well, we'll talk about Baszler again in a second.
Yeah, we will. So yeah, I'll talk about NXT Spring Break and Night 1. You saw a little bit. You showed up from work. I remember I made a note of it. So you have some input maybe. Ava's backstage with Pierce. Pierce is actually there. Nick Aldis is on a monitor. They talk about how deep NXT's roster is and how they have their eyes on some NXT talent for the draft. You can confirm because you saw her later. Ava is still rough, right?
Yeah, she's not good.
And again, front runner for worst non-wrestling performer. I think she won it for us last year too, 2023. But anyways, we'll see. So this is like that main roster crossover stuff that I really don't want in NXT, although less offensive now because WWE is better. I've actually enjoyed chunks of Raw in the last few weeks. So when it was Vince's WWE, it was like, I don't want you touching NXT. NXT is awesome. Get away. It's mine. But now maybe a little more
It's
open.
a little more open, yeah, for sure.
So Tatum Paxley, Lyra Valkyria, Roxanne Perez is our first match for the NXT Women's Championship.
I forgot it's a special.
So all 3 are in the ring, no introduction. So I'm like, this must be a busy show. And a huge reaction for Tatum Paxley.
That's why I saw like Lyra's entrance on a live stream when like something. I think it might have been we were watching Dynasty or something. Like I saw they were live streaming the entrances, kind of like AEW tends to do for Rampage.
Yeah. So this crowd, I don't know if it's just the NXT group, because you know how they sort of adopt people. They love Tatum Paxley. So they chant for her on and off throughout this match. Paxley tries to do Lyra's drop kick through the ropes, but Lyra stops it and hits it herself. Roxanne's the heel. She lets the other 2 fight, waits for her opportunity, and takes control of Lyra for a while when she does. Roxanne hits a high cross, but Paxley rolls through it for a near fall. Lyra with a double powerbomb out of the corner. Fisherman Buster to Paxley. Nice work by all 3 near the end of this with submissions and near falls and things. Paxley hits a 450 to Lyra Valkyria. Looked pretty decent. Roxanne comes in and rolls up Paxley to steal the win here, so she retains after 12 minutes. I thought it was a really good triple threat. I thought a smart way to like introduce Paxley to the upper echelon of that division, right?
I mean, the North American title is coming soon.
Too, yeah. So. Oh, right. So maybe she's a front runner for that. And they started out with each woman kind of pairing off while the other was outside, which kind of annoys me sometimes.
When you do it too much.
But then the final few minutes involved all 3, and I thought they did a good job of pulling off, like almost frantically wanting to win this any way they could. Finish was well executed. The crowd favorite looking like she could sneak out a win, and then you have the heel champ take it away. So I thought that was good. I was impressed by that match. Bunch of main roster people. And other people that I'm supposed to know, I think. I don't know if they're celebrities or whatever, are predicting that Trick will beat Dragunov. They are really committed to making this feel important, right? Like
they're trying.
All kinds of people coming back to watch, all kinds of people weighing in little video clips. Backstage, Fallon Henley's in the locker room talking to Kalani Jordan and Thea Hale. Usual babyface positive stuff. And Jada Parker's there. She's tired of Henley. Calls her like the most popular loner, kind of like, well, your friends ditched you and you're this loner, but like you're hanging out with everybody all the time. So they end up getting in each other's faces. So
that's how that match happened.
I assumed we were getting a match, and we do. And it's usual locker room stuff NXT loves to do, especially with the women. It was fine. Video package aired about a new tag team. I told you they're going to debut next week. Tyson DuPont and
that's who I was. Yeah, that's
Tyreek Igwe, I think. Clips of them in action in NXT, and the look of these guys, 2 big dudes, 2 big black dudes to be more specific, and even like them walking through the street.
I couldn't understand what their shtick was. I've seen them on Level Up because there's like the odd times where I turn on the network and Level Up is always on.
This felt like lazy. Hey, we did this for OTM. Let's just do it for a babyface now.
Yeah,
they're walking the streets and talking with their personalities.
Now you need like
and stuff.
heel mobsters to go against the family.
That's right. The Creeds
Isn't that what they kind of did with Legato, though?
Creeds and Ivy Nile are back to support Trick and all the hard work he's put in. They chant for Trick to end the segment. It was a little bit goofy, but they are still trying to make this feel important. So get a 6-man tag. It's the No Quarter Catch Crew with the canceled Drew Gulak being gone, taking on the family here. Fast-paced, almost frantic action to start this. Kemp hits a somersault off the apron onto the rest of them. The Catch Crew isolate stacks, including a drop kick by Bourne into a German by Kemp, and then a little later a perfect plex from Dempsey. Tony D gets the hot tag, takes a chop block and a suplex neck breaker combination to stop his roll from Kemp and Bourne. Bridging Dragon suplex by Dempsey, Shatter Machine to Bourne.
No.
Eventual Sky High from Tony to Dempsey.
That looked lame.
And that got the family the win, right? Not
Sky
his
High's usually
or
like
anything.
Sit out or that looked lame to me.
So after, it was 11 minutes. I thought this was a fun 6-man tag. Worked really high pace. Catch Crew seemed to be developing some tandem offense. And Bourne's athleticism really jumps off the screen to me. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but again, he can never ever speak.
You really fit their style, though.
But he is cool. Does he fit No Catch Crew?
That's the thing.
Not really. He's more of like I don't know. He's like Orton-ish. I keep saying he reminds me of Randy Orton in terms of like he can do power stuff. He can do sort of his drop kick is what they seem to be focused on. Anyways, I think
Orton always had a good drop kick.
The young talent in this match, I think, is impressive and should be part of that like next crop. They're not like new there anymore, but they're not veterans. They're just ascending, I think. So I liked it. Corbin's backstage with an interviewer asking about Braun, and Lexis King shows up and calls Corbin a pretend king and gives him a gift basket like as consolation for having lost Braun. He suggests that Corbin hitch his wagon to another second-generation star destined for greatness. Right? Makes sense. Corbin calls King a tool and says there's no way.
Corbin's like a pseudo-face now.
And then he goes, there's no way that beard is real, which I thought was funny too. So I'm honestly like, again, King's just that irritant. He annoys everybody.
Corbin works by kind of being real too. Not like McIntyre, but kind of like in the same vein.
Too bad King's boring in the ring. You know what I mean? But Jada Parker Fallon Henley match, we do get it. Actually started during the commercial break. Like we come back, it's already underway. Weird choice.
Weird. I mean, that shows their standing, I guess.
Jack does not enjoy Parker's butt drop corner move. He just walked in from work.
So dumb.
I think it looks impactful at least. But anyways.
It just looks stupid.
Surprisingly, Parker ends up winning. I didn't even write what the finish was. Do you remember what her finisher was?
No, actually.
It's that memorable. 6-minute match. Big win for Parker. I was a bit surprised. They're giving her some momentum. I think she's decent. I think her heel attitude is good. I think she needs to continue improving in the ring. And now Henley's like the veteran hand, I guess.
Which is weird.
It is weird because she's
no
pretty
offense,
good.
That's not like a great sign.
But she's working with younger talent, like week in, week out. It seems.
As long as she stops doing the house call. Like house call, Shatter Machine. What's next?
I know, right?
I'm only half.
Don't watch AEW though.
I'm only half joking.
I know.
Like it's.
Yeah, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix. Basically a little promo segment here. JC saying that Thea blew it by not sticking with her. Hale should be thanking Jane.
I saw this like it was on when I was there, but I wasn't like, I didn't pay attention to it.
Instead, Hale has shown that she is an ungrateful little girl, and Jane will end her on night 2 of spring breaking.
Yay.
This is a really lengthy. Chase U gets involved in some lengthy stuff, man.
Yeah, I was saying like when we did our standing alert prediction, I was like, this has to be the blow off.
No, we're still going. Lola Vice, Natalia hype video. Lola says that if Natalia thinks she can have a rigorous tour and come back to, I think she was touring. I don't know where she was.
The house show tour. Like they went to like UK and Ireland and all that.
Oh, right.
All that
and come back to NXT to beat Lola. She has another thing coming. Natalie responds and says Lola has a chance to prove what she says. And Lola says she's going to become a legend at Natty's expense. I don't care about Natty at all, but I think Vice sounded fine. And I predict some big things for her. I think she's got something they like.
They book her better than Baszler, so help me God.
And did she have a line like, or was that later? Sorry, I think that was later. It was because they're face to face later, right?
Yes.
McDonough thinks Dragunov will win because he's a heel.
I do like at least like they're not having everyone pick Trick and
almost
like,
everyone.
Yeah.
Bait and Dunn pick Trick.
Peter Dune.
Ava's
Last place he was Pete Dunne was NXT, so
yeah,
back when it was 2.0.
Ava's in the ring for the Lola Vice Natalia contract signing for their underground match next week, which I still not sure how that's going to go.
I'll be watching.
We're going to find out who Vice's training partner is because that's important here. The ropes are gone and we've got jobbers surrounding the ring just like we will for the match, and they're pounding on the apron at one point.
Got to build that atmosphere.
Ava sounds rough. Jack is not a fan.
No, this is where I saw her, yeah.
Petrovic is with Natalia. You were surprised to learn Petrovic is also Canadian. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, explain this. Fans have a very funny cardboard cutout of Lola Vice.
Oh, yeah. They were like, they had these things, and like, so they can make it like twerk or whatever. It was really funny.
So she's always shaking her butt. So they have a like cardboard cutout
like
that are maybe
one,
2 or 3 feet high where she's shaking her hips.
It was really funny.
Pretty funny. Lola says just because she shakes her ass doesn't mean she can't kick it as well. She will break Natty at Spring Breakin'. Natty responds saying she respects that Lola came from cage fighting, but Lola doesn't respect that Natty came from the dungeon. If Lola's going to lead stars into the future, she's going to have to beat some respect into her. Lola says Natty can go ahead and try, but when the lights dim, Natty's fate is in her hands, the fastest hands in the division, and her training partner will make them even faster. Jack will want... So it's Shayna Baszler, and I said Jack will want to rant about Baszler's treatment here. Go ahead.
So she says some things, and she sounds cool. She shoves Petrovic, gets sucker punched, done.
Dies.
Done. Just die. Like, even in NXT, where she was like a god among women, so she can't get one up on Carmen Petrovic. Are you kidding me?
So here's my note.
Like, even in like... Just nothing. I can't win anymore.
So as this was happening, I'm writing, Jack is happy that Baszler is Vice's training partner. Bring her back to NXT to kill everyone.
Nope.
Then Triple H can bring her back up and treat her properly. Nope, never mind.
Yeah, like, you can't even, like, does Triple H not remember what he did? Like,
she should be...
I genuinely don't understand how hard it is.
She should be redacted. We've talked about this.
She redacted.
She should be the redacted one, female version.
Yes, like, I genuinely don't understand how difficult it is, and like that's why I've harped on it for the last 4 years.
A little bit too.
She's always been fine at talking. Like, it's not even hard because we have redacted, but because we have the NXT run, you don't have to change anything.
I know.
It's not hard. There's 2 women's titles. Can you not give her one?
I know.
I don't. You could have just given her the Battle Royal reign. I don't care.
So other than the treatment of Baszler,
it's not hard.
Better get some sort of benefit out of this somewhere. I thought it was a solid segment. It gives Vice experience doing something new because, again, I think they have big plans for her. So getting her in a sit down live and stuff like that was just part of gaining experience, right? Which is what NXT is for. Spears is in the parking lot with Ridge Holland, and I can't imagine anyone outside their immediate family cares at all. Okay. Ridge is asked by a reporter or somebody about his win last week, and he said it was a rough few months, but it's time to stack up victories and find success the right way. Spears, like sarcastic, he claps and says Ridge should keep telling himself that. Sean says to give in to the thoughts, or better yet, let them out. Ridge says Spears can't rile him up, and he'll be seeing him. So my only thing is, they took 2 guys that I couldn't care less and put them in one segment. So like the boring stuff is condensed and then gone, I guess. So that's condensed. Fine. Oh my God. Did you see this? Who's coming to NXT? Thought they were hinting about it. And then it was straight up. Nope, we're coming. A group from main roster who suck. Who have roots in NXT.
Not Final Testament. They were already
correct.
There, right? Oh, wait. No, they're already there.
They're coming. They're coming for they call out Axiom and Frazier specifically.
They were just there, though. What do you mean they're just
like
there?
They're going to be there for a while? This made it seem.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
So then it immediately cuts to Axiom and Frazier in the locker room. They were watching this. They're not happy. They seem a little nervous. Frazier refers to AOP as monsters coming for their titles. Malik Blade isn't happy either with all these main roster teams showing up to take the titles. And then just to make this even better, we get the Good Brothers come in and they're like, yep, all these teams coming and just getting title shots. And then Anafe tries to say something but knocks over a mirror. I don't know. I guess they're bad luck now. Those poor guys, man, they get some weird stuff for them. So we get Karrion Kross and the Good Brothers in the same segment in NXT. Thanks so much for that.
Not good.
Blair Davenport versus Saul Ruka in a beach brawl match. Did you see any of this?
I saw the Soul Snatcher on a surfboard, which is stupid.
So generally, if you're doing a weapons match, maybe not inflatable things and things made of styrofoam. Because there was like a lot of boogie boards, and you know what a boogie board is?
Yeah.
They're made of styrofoam.
That's what the Soul Snatcher was on.
I'm pretty confident I could hit you as hard as I could in the back with a boogie board and you wouldn't care.
Not really. Or like, I feel like what you could have done is you make like a surfboard out of the same material that they make their tables out of. Would that not at least be like something decent?
Right. And then they had like a pool floaty that's like a ring that to put over top. Like, so
that's why I knew the beach brawl was stupid.
The weapons were the worst part of this, to be honest. So Ruka hit a fireman's carry power bomb that was kind of cool. Davenport hit a second rope German suplex. Ruka got thrown into a bench, looked okay. A chair got introduced. Ruka hit a standing moonsault with a boogie board, but the boogie board missed Davenport completely. So then she like smacked her in the stomach with it instead. The big spot was Davenport being on Ruka like a backpack, and then Ruka just fell off the barricade and drove Davenport through a table. Looked pretty good. Ruka then won, as you said, with a soul snatcher onto a styrofoam boogie board, just over 10 minutes.
And her face barely connected with it too, Davenport.
The gimmick stuff was really stupid, especially since this was supposed to be like Davenport attacked Ruka in the parking lot and took her out for months, and this is her getting her revenge with styrofoam boogie boards. So some of the action was actually cool, but almost all of the weapon stuff was a minus. Table spot was along the way was good though. Johnny Gargano. So Trick's on the phone with his mom actually. I don't know if she's sick or something.
They should bring back the Shelton Benjamin mama gimmick.
I don't know if she's sick, but she said the doctor says she's doing okay. Trick says he needs to go and fight and that whoop that Trick. Gargano comes in and says the pressure's on more so than stand and deliver in last week's cage match. Gargano says, I like this line, no pressure, no diamonds. That was a cool line.
Diamonds in the rust.
Diamond Mine returns. No, just kidding.
Diamond in the rust.
Trick should use his pain and use it as a weapon. Johnny says winning the title took every ounce of him to do it, and Trick says he's ready. I thought this was a good idea.
Speaking of Johnny winning the title, that's the match I watched.
NXT legend, super baby face, sounding sincere, giving Trick advice. So good little segment. Metaphor, really weird here. On a road trip, somebody's filming social media style. They have car troubles. The guys can't fix it, but Lash can. Okay. That was it. Like
that. Remember when? What was it like?
Other than like these guys exist, I don't know what the point was.
It reminds me of the 2.0 crop where like remember MSK were on the hunt for like weed or something. They found Riddle, and like remember what GYV were doing? They were like stealing food.
Yes.
Oh my god,
I forgot about that.
And, like they had like the whiteboard, like the Home Alone plan. It was like, oh my god! So bad. I just unlocked a memory. I think I tried to repress.
You probably did.
Wow.
Lexis King versus Baron Corbin. Corbin's all alone now. The Braun is gone. Less than 6 minutes. King won with the coronation after a kick low while the ref was distracted. Average at best, as you would expect. Pretty basic, pretty slow, pretty short. Is this Corbin putting people over on the way up, or is he?
I think so. I think I've heard they're gonna.
He'll be gone. Bate, Dunn, Gargano are shown taking seats for the main event ahead of a package highlighting Trick and Dragunov.
Have Pete Dunn kick someone in the head for no reason.
Big fight feel, blah, blah, blah. Sure. Ilya's asked for his final thoughts, walking for the match. Says Trick has earned his respect, but all he has is his family and the title, and nothing will change. He is forever unbesiegbar, or however you say that correctly. Damian Priest out of nowhere goes, good luck, champ. So everybody's here, basically. Trick walks is asked by Byron Saxon about his thoughts. He says he wins tonight or he leaves NXT for good, which I'd actually forgotten that was the stipulation. It's either champion or bust. Either way, he's going to fight. And one thing to know about him, he fears no man. As his mama said, let's whoop that Trick. Seemed really focused here.
I saw they did like that entrance shot for him again where like they follow him, I think.
Yeah, right? They did. And I love that, man.
I always like that.
That stuff is cool. So the match is the main event. It's Trick Dragunov for the NXT Championship. Trick hits an H-bomb and a Torpedo Moscow, and I kind of like that detail.
Trick?
Yeah, because he's saying he learned from his previous experiences with Dragunov, so he's hitting Dragunov's offense. Bookend off the barricade through the table was pretty nice, and the crowd loved that from Trick. Dragunov superplex and an H-bomb, then a second rope H-bomb for a really good near fall, then a top rope H-bomb. Dragunov sells his arm, hurting from doing it, so he couldn't quite make the cover in time. Trick kicks out. They end up in opposite corners, kind of like we didn't talk about. I think it was the finish of
Ospreay and Danielson.
Yeah, where they just run at each other and it's the hidden blade instead.
Yeah, it don't hit the same. I will say this was like the best looking Trick shot yet.
Yeah, so they run at each other.
Like, it wasn't like amazing because I've seen Takeshita do a million times better, but like it was the best Trick has done.
So they run at each other. Trick hits his Trick knee and Dragunov does not hit the Torpedo Moscow. Trick wins in 12 minutes. We have a new champ. Dragunov hands the belt to Trick, hugs him, then rolls out of the ring to give the champ his moment. Trick stands on the barricade and celebrates with the fans. as they chant for him. I actually thought this match was it was a little bit short, but I think I liked it better than the Mello matches, to be honest.
Trick's best.
And I think that it's maybe a bit short to protect Trick because, like we said, he's not quite ready to have like 25-minute masterpieces at this point. But I think this match highlights how good Dragunov is and what the difference, even though we love Mello, we talked about it last week. Dragunov's style and intensity make every match feel important. He has strong matches with everybody. There's never like, I don't think they have good chemistry.
Dragunov is one of those ones they have to do right.
Yes, and I've been disappointed in a couple Mello matches, but I love Mello. A couple of issues in this on Trick's end, but blips on the radar among some other good stuff. So I can't help but feel like this moment would have been epic if Trick and Mello stuff had paid off, right? Like if it had really hit the way it should have.
It would have been like big wins for Trick. Would have been like big win, big win, big win.
Right. So
instead of just like big win.
Cool for Trick. Give him a run with this. See how it goes. Hopefully he keeps improving in ring. So
I guess we'll see him in Toronto.
Pretty good match. Yeah, I guess we will. Right. Do you have any SmackDown stuff? You do, right?
The only stuff was I was gonna look at the draft because
so we're just going over some of the.
I think
draft
there was only 4 rounds. For this one, I think there's more on Raw. First one was like so it's. Interesting. Little side rant was in this one they're protecting the champions, so you can't switch the champions from show to show.
Right.
Which is stupid.
I do like that they have draft eligible, so it's like you can protect certain people.
But I think like they just fit what the new tag titles. They just went through the process of getting the brand names out of all the tag titles. So now, like, it doesn't matter if you switch the titles. No one cares.
They're doing it to spite you. I like it.
Because remember in 2020, they swapped the tag titles just because, you're on the wrong brands. They swapped the women's titles with Charlotte and Becky. Last year, we had the SmackDown champion on Raw and vice versa. So now you want to protect the champions when it doesn't matter. Like, I think it's stupid, but whatever. So Cody, Priest, Awesome Truth, Theory Waller, Zayn, Paul.
Can't move.
Women's tag champs can move because no one cares about them.
Right.
Belair to SmackDown, she's already there. That doesn't matter. Jey Uso to Raw, already there. Doesn't matter. The first round was Mello going to SmackDown.
That's cool.
That
good for him.
Has got to be good.
Yep.
That's got to be a good time for him. And I'm hoping like maybe first round on Monday you get Dragunov to Raw. I feel like. And then Rollins to Raw. He's staying there, but he's also injured for a while, so that's not going to be a big deal. I feel like. Orton to SmackDown staying there. Breaker to Raw. That's cool.
Yep.
That's a switch for him because he's debuted. It's weird. They just signed him to SmackDown. They're like, nope, switching.
Drafted.
Nia Jax to SmackDown is a switch, but that sucks for them. And Liv Morgan staying on Raw. And then third round was LA Knight SmackDown staying there. Ricochet to Raw staying there. Bloodline to SmackDown staying there. Sheamus to Raw staying there. Last one is Styles to SmackDown staying there. Alpha Academy to Raw staying there. Andrade to SmackDown. That's a switch.
Wait a minute. No, NXT hasn't drafted anyone?
They're not yet. Well, it's like, I don't know. I guess people are going to, like, they're not straight up in the draft.
How did the other ones get all these? So it's like,
I don't know how that's working.
So NXT, you're a third brand, but all the big picks are done before you get anyone.
I don't know, I guess. And then
Weird.
Kiana James to Raw.
Really?
That's a surprise.
I mean, what else is she going to do in NXT, I guess?
If they're not going to give her the title.
Right.
They did just introduce another title, though, so that kind of answers that question.
True.
So, I don't know. Anyways, that's it. I think the NXT ones are interesting, or breaker switching. I feel like you have to get Dragunov in the mix next.
Pretty weird that NXT starts out with like blah, blah, blah draft and NXT gets nobody.
I get like it's just like the people are going to be involved, but
we're taking your people and you don't get to replace
That's always
them.
The case, though.
It is.
So it's like that's never
this
changed.
year was supposed to be different.
I guess. I don't know. That's weird.
Weird. Okay, cool. You said nothing other than what you said for figuring already. So I think that's going to wrap up episode 197. Thanks if you're tuning in and listening to us and made it this far. That's great. Really appreciate it. Contact us on any of the methods listed if you'd like a reply. We always try to get back to people that contact us because it doesn't happen often. So if you want a reply from podcasters, we can do that for you. But anyways, we'll be back down here for 198 next Saturday for sure. And until then, everybody, take care.